A good crowd. A good crowd of 17 to 18,000 people here for the start of the doubleheader. The second one, Port against Glenelg, a pretty important game. Port Adelaide without Russell Johnson, and most of the crowd will be eager to just see how they react without him. Off they go through McDermott, a high one out to the other side. Christie sets himself over the top, comes Phelps. Quickly now Port Adelaide through Leslie. Leslie goes wide and takes the mark with Tyler on the outer side. Tyler to send Port Adelaide into attack. Sells the puck well, drives long in towards the half-forward line, up over the top Hodges, lays down Cruz. The umpire said play to advantage. Glenelg, the running player Maynard, he bounds his way through the centre, slips it over to Hewitt. The Tigers into attack. Out comes Teme, not Teme, out comes the big fellow Pelican. Melican, it is. I'll get it right, and Chigwidden's got the mark in the full forward left pocket. Nick Chigwidden, who starts the game usually on the field, and then he's replaced by Jeffrey Winton in the first 10 minutes. Has a shot for goal. Oh, that's not a bad looking kick, my young friend. That's home. The Bays are on the board. They're a goal. Port Adelaide yet to open their account.
What a delightful goal of Nick Chigwidden. We watched the earlier game, South Adelaide and North Adelaide, and nobody could get a goal from that part of the ground. I can tell you it was a very difficult area to shoot from. Maybe the wind has subsided a little. Nevertheless, it was a great goal by Nick Chigwidden. As Ian said, last week had about 4 minutes of football, then got replaced, but I don't think that'll happen today. Kicking a goal in the first minute of play.
It'd be a bit stiff. Umpire Ross Campbell, together with David Weston in charge. Carey gets the hook back, getting it out. Stringer, oh, beautifully done. McDermott got it out to Hewitt. They go to the half-forward line. Melican comes to meet the ball and did it well. Melican, a long way out, not confident of making the distance. He's going to put it up for grabs. Christie's in the square, going to set himself, can't, off the fingers, through comes Phillips. Brilliantly conceded, and I think even Graham Campbell, you might concede that that was the right time to do it.
Well, it was so close to goal, I guess, and it was the safety valve way of giving away a point. Nonetheless, I still thought he could have grabbed it and kicked it away from goal. Kicking in is Roger Delaney. A long, high kick. Looking for and finding, with consummate ease in the finish. The big fellow, now playing ruck. Hines plays on. Phelps, the counterpart of Hines. They both may play a bit of ruck work today. High into the forward line. Darren Smith finishes up with the ball. Glenelg mops up. Caught. Out the back. Wayne Stringer played a great game last week, I might say. Chigwidden again leading his opponent to the ball. And marks. Clear of Greg Boyd. But he kicks it almost straight to Hines. Number 15 for Port. Ground level now. And Greg Phillips, the reliable Greg Phillips, just carries the ball over the line. And Peter Carey was just there in case there was an error of judgment, but there wasn't.
The Bays 1-1. Port yet to score in the first 3 minutes. Carey in opposition to Hines, who came over the top. Maynard can't. Oh, Marshall Chigwidden gets out the handball. Stabekler hooks around the corner, up towards full forward. Great mark. I'd pay that one. The umpire hasn't. They call play on. Melican smothered. Still to play on. Harrison through the pack. Sockers the ball towards the line and out of bounds. Well, I thought that was a pretty close mark for the Port Adelaide player. Would have been the full back, or was it Phelps?
Yes,
yeah, it was Phelps.
It was Phelps, Ian, but I thought that John Sneebickler erred in going to Christie when he had Melican unopposed to get the ball onto. Melican now knocks the ball on. Chigwidden! Gee, a live wire so far. Little Chiggy, his third kick for the game. High kick into the forward line. Oh, reaches the... McTavish runs through the play and Phelps came to meet him, but they lost the ball. It bounced at right angles. McTavish almost carried it across the line for a... Well, kicked it across the line, I should say, for a goal, but it got away from his outstretched hands for a point only. And old 1-2, Port get the score.
Gee, it would have been a magnificent goal. He almost eluded that player. Good kick in. Stabekler, fine mark. The Bays are looking for this player to start to fire now after his injury, his groin. Now he's going to put it up for grabs, looking for Melican. The big fellow's in the middle of the pack. Carey over the top. Can't bring it down. Quickly Delaney gets it out to Phillips, and he goes in short to Martin Leslie. Martin Leslie looking on all stripes there at the moment with his jumper on with the tracksuit underneath it, or at least the swimsuit. Darren Smith, well done. Wants a running player. He's got one on the other side. He's going to go long up towards the half-forward line. In there, Simpson can't bring it down. Tries to burrow his way through. Back in defence, West. Now it's Michael O'Brien. Bryan gets it out wide. Puts William under the hammer. He's got a play on. He wants holding the ball. He thought he was going to get a free kick for a high tackle, and umpire Weston in the end pinged him for holding the ball.
Kick by Glenelg, not too judicious. And over the boundary line before Tony McTavish can keep the ball in play. Graham Corns made a few changes to his pre-match thinking, I would believe. He finds Chris McDermott being stood by Harvey. Harvey's tagging McDermott. That's one thing he's got to think about for a few moments. And he's got Dennis Russell, the fullback, and Jim West standing Tyler. Tyler's a boy playing in the forward pocket for Port Adelaide. Normally West plays at fullback, but Russell also a good defensive player. Ball up. Carey's there with Darren Smith, who'll do most of the ruck work on the forward line. I think you'll find left foot kick. Looking for Marnie. Salisbury from behind. Marnie, well done. No, bought the ground. Handball from O'Brien across to Foster. Ha! He splits the centre. That is an impossible goal. Richard Foster, but you've done it. By gee, I can't believe that. He's kicked that from an oblique angle. A right foot kick, and he absolutely read it beautifully. It just split the centre, as I said, for Port's first goal. Kicking with the breeze this quarter. Port 1 goal. No behind, 6 points. Trailing Glenelg 1-2-8. What a goal, Ian.
Yes, well, you said it can't be done, but what a brilliant handball also by Michael O'Brien. He's put out a couple of good ones early in the game, and he gave a chance to Foster, albeit a slim one, and he took it.
Centre bounce again. It's quite noticeable. Harvey's tagging Dermott. Wherever he goes, Harvey goes. Hewitt out the back door, looking for Maynard. Sees the player coming. Lifted the elbow a little bit. It's against Peter Maynard. Just a little bit. Umpire's very wary of that. Free kick to Foster, is it? And Foster launches the ball forward to Geneva, unopposed. Well, now this is a strange one because with, I guess with Harvey tagging McDermott, the ruck rover becomes Geneva's problem. In other words, Peter Maynard's got to watch Geneva. Now, Peter Maynard was standing the mark then, and Chris McDermott, I think, felt that Harvey's his opponent, but really Geneva is. Geneva's the first rover. Geneva kicks for goal and splits the centre. What a top start by Port Adelaide now. Admittedly, they've got the breeze. They need to kick goals with it. But that's a good comeback. Seeing Glenelg had the sway of play the first 5 minutes of the action. And that's Geneva's first goal. Port Adelaide second. 2 goals. Plays 1-2.
Loose checking by the Bay defence. They let Geneva slip into the hole there. I think he was possibly on the ball, so it was one of the Rovers that didn't pick him up. He's gone back to the pocket now. And as Graham said, it could have been McDermott that should have covered that player. But Port Adelaide has done it well. They started a little tardily, but now they've got 2 goals in 3 minutes, and they lead by 4 points.
Got a game on our hands here. Centre bounce. Carey and Hines. Hines wins out. Maynard takes after it. So does Hewitt. Handballs across to Cruz. Left foot into the open space. Chigridden races to the ball with his protagonist Boyd, and he's given Boyd the runaround so far this quarter. Maybe Greg Boyd would rather play a taller person where he's more apt to outmark him in a straight-out contest. But Chigridden at the moment, with his quickness and his perceptiveness, has led Boyd a merry dance, as I said.
Stringer tried to get it back to Maynard. In there is Kerr. Over the top is Marnie. Also young Wharton, number 23. And the umpire, it wasn't Kerr, it was number 12. In actual fact, it was Johnny Harvey. A bounce down at centre wing. Carey, a beautiful knock to Stringer. Thought about Cruz. Gee, he'll have to get rid of this in a hurry. Runs himself into trouble. Got out of it well. Now drives to the half-forward line. Coming to beat it is Hodgman. Can't quite get there. And he's lost the footy. On the half-forward line, Hodgie made the meter. Couldn't hang on to the ball. And it's a throw-in on the half-forward left flank with the Bays in attack and down by 4 points.
He did the hard work here and he got there, but just couldn't retain possession. Christie knocks it down, left hand. Marnie to nobody. Maynard mops up. Handballs across. Dermott finds McTavish. Well done, Marnie. Oh, forced out of bounds. Wasn't his fault. Good stuff by Christie. He ran across his body as he tried to handball. And the resultant ball out of bounds. There he is.
Yeah, the perennial interchanger. Winton's on. Now, how long it's taken him? 9 minutes. Bit slow this week, Graham.
And Christie off.
Stringer gets it out wide. Winton immediately in the action. Now to Maynard. Maynard goes up there looking for Malacan. Phillips in fine form in recent weeks. On the left leg, he'll go for the safety of the line, or will he? O'Brien with Glenelg. One-on-one as they go to the line. And the umpire will give a kick against O'Brien for pushing it back. Crowd building. I reckon it's got to be close to 17,000 or 18,000 people. Once more, good attendance. Beautiful weather. 15 metres. Glenelg goes to the half-forward line. David Marshall into the action for about the first time. I think it might be his second kick. No, it's his first kick. He's got a handball up towards Carey. Carey, 2 grabs. The umpire said play on. Carey thinks he's marked it. But umpire Ross Campbell has different ideas. Watch Big Super have a word to say now. You just give him a friendly bit of advice. Hang on, we'll just keep the camera on him. No, Peter knows he didn't mark it then.
Might I say this, Ian? I thought the Port players thought he marked it. They gave up. But the umpire said, no mark, big fella. Carey wins out. Straight across to Williams. Simpson, sorry. Williams now going to mark Simpson's kick. It's funny, sometimes when I call the wrong player, he finally gets a kick anyhow. Williams mops up well.
Mental telepathy, Graham.
Courageous mark by Williams. Left foot kick. Over to the far side of the oval. Finding Harrison. What's he doing up there? Playing back pocket, I believe. High kick. Oh, no, nobody. Jim West, I thought he was going to mark that for a moment. Leslie's up there too. Gee whiz, players are out of position, I tell you. It's a free kick to Glenelg. It's his second for the quarter. Third, sorry, free kick. He's got a penchant for getting free kicks today. Glenelg short to McTavish. No, it's Hodgman. Hodgman pulls it around beautifully. Marshall from behind. Not on. Tackled by Harrison. Tackles on again. Nothing wrong with that, says the umpire. No, around the neck, he says. I thought he'd let it go for a moment, but not so. Maynard's kick.
Maynard from centre wing. You sure Leslie's not having a run on the ball, Graham? No doubt you'll pick that up before long as they come over the top and Phillips stumps the ball out of play. 2 goals to 1-2 in the opening. 11 minutes gone, good crowd, perfect conditions, and a desperate game for both teams. Carey cleverly, Marshall smothered. Quickly in there now is Chigwidden looking for Marshall, and the ball has gone out of play again, same spot.
You're right, Ian, of course, again, because what we've seen is John Harvey tagging McDermott. McDermott goes off the ball. I dare say that Leslie will come on and Harvey will go to half-back flank. I think that's how they're doing it. Chigwidden forcing his way through. Harvey, left foot kick. Foster coming across. West mops up. Does well, West. Runs the boundary. Stringer, Allen that is, out the back door. Finding brother Wayne. Hooks it back. In comes Maynard. He's got to chase. Oh, well done, Maynard. He met him full on. Wayne Marnie, he did, that is. McTavish now. Plenty of time. He loves running with the ball, this guy. He's lost it. Won it again. Left foot chip. Straight to Martin Leslie, it would appear. No. In came Winton, the Marauder, and done something. McDermott. He's got a free player over there in Marshall, and he finds him. No problem. Marshall on his goes back on his right foot kicking foot. He's a great kick for goal. Is David Marshall. He brings it back. It's a goal! A great goal by David Marshall, set up by Chris McDermott. Oh, gee, how he got there, I don't know, Marshall. He's playing on the wing. He was always lonesome, almost in the forward pocket. McDermott knew it. He found him. And Glenelg's third goal for the quarter. 3-2-20. Plays Port, 2 goals, sorry. Second goal for the quarter. 2-2-14. Playing Port, 2 goals, 12. Gee, the scoreboard had 10 to beat me then, Ian. He doesn't normally. On reflection, I knew Glenelg only had 2 goals on the board. They hit the front by 2 points.
Corn's on the phone. I don't think it's a smile, but he leads by 2 points into the breeze. He wouldn't be too upset. At the bounce, Carey against Hines. Line ball, that one. In go the arms and legs, some heavy bodies in there. Stringer puts on the saddle, and umpire Ross Campbell in for the bounce. Unbelievably fine conditions now. The weatherman was right, Keith Martin. He said it would be good weather Saturday afternoon. Carey goes for the big thump. It was a roundhouse right. Puts it out into the run of Simpson. Stringer can't catch him, but he got nowhere to go. Coming to meet it, Smith got a bad bounce. Cruise over the top, and he's got the easy job of thumping it out of play. Out of play at centre wing, with the Bays leading by 2 points.
Yes, tight game in our hands here. A desperate game. Both sides conceding no quarter whatsoever. And wouldn't you believe that with the situation both clubs are in. A left foot kick around the corner. Looking for John Harvey, who's now in the forward line. So he's changing on the forward line, it would appear. They've got to pick up this tactic of tagging McDermott. It would appear he's not on him all the time. Once McDermott goes off the ball, so must Harvey. And now it's out of bounds over on the far side, right in front of the scoreboard, which shows Glenelg 2 points ahead of Port Adelaide. Smith and Carey. Left foot kick by Hodgman. Oh yes, well mopped up. Good stuff. The Port Adelaide player going back with the ball is Stephen Williams. The ever reliable Williams had a great last half of the season, might I say. In goes Williams with a high ball. Right where it should be, right in the square from behind. Players fighting for the ground level. Dennis Russell forces it over. But Hodgson was around the place also. Looks like a Port Adelaide kick. The umpire's agitated when he runs in like that. Yes, John Harvey's won the resultant free kick. I was still watching the flow of play. I can't for one moment guess what it was for. But the umpire was certain. He came in and pointed, as they always do, to the centre of the goals from where the free kick was played. In comes Harvey. And kicks the goal. No question about that. John Harvey's first. Port's third. Port 3 goals straight. Leading Glenelg 2-2 in what is an absorbing battle.
I didn't pick up the free kick, but undoubtedly it was for a push in the back. Russell was sending the ball out of play. Harvey was back behind those two players. So obviously it was for an incident behind the actual ball. But nevertheless, Harvey kicked a fine goal. And I wouldn't think he'd kicked too many in his career. Every now and again he likes to charge down off his half-back flank to boot one. But he's playing in attack today, and he got his chance from that left forward pocket. And Port by 4 points.
When he's on the ball and he's tagging McDermott, it's going to be hard to keep this up because you've got to keep a watchful eye on when McDermott comes on and off the ball. Carey knocks it on. Phillips in the row. Quick kick by Williams. From behind Darren Smith. Well done, Michael O'Brien. Mops up beautifully. Left foot kick into the forward line. Looking for his full forward Hodges. Salisbury over to Stringer. They combine well, these two guys. Stringer. Oh, great kick. You can't do better than that. Finds David Marshall over on the far side of the ground, just near the scoreboard. And Marshall goes back for the usual long kick into oh, great kick by Marshall. High looking for Jim West. Oh, great mark by Hines. Great mark. He's the man taking Russell Johnson's place today in the ruck. Hines inboard, as they say. Oh, another top mark by Tyler. And Salisbury's got to stay in the mark, which means there's a rover free somewhere. Because Salisbury, I can assure you, is not playing on Tyler. Marnie's the man that Salisbury has vacated, but McCavish has now picked him up. Tyler thinks he can make the distance. Interesting. It's high, not quite the distance required. Oh, great mark by Peter Carey. The stalwart of the Glenelg ruck does it so well. And marks to relieve once again. Play on, says the umpire. No, he doesn't. He drags the player back.
I just gave him his 5 metres, which he's entitled to, Graham. Now Wharton takes the mark on the right forward pocket. He's bringing back the opponent Hewitt on the mark. Wharton will put it up for grabs in the square. Hodges is in there, sets himself over the top. The ball favours West, runs into trouble. He's got to get rid of that in a hurry. Puts it out wide. Russell got it out to Wayne Stringer. He boots long. No one there. Marshall's got to go. With him is Simpson. One-on-one towards the centre wing. Back infield now to Ginnivan. Gets it away in a hurry. Stephen Williams tries to run the gauntlet. Down he goes, holding the ball. Might be a little disappointed at that one. And the free kick on the half-back line. Pidu got it back in a hurry and just broke 3 ribs.
Always hard to call those ones. It's either ball or man. And on this occasion it was ball. Chris McDermott, high. Looking for Steve Bickler. Oh, in the back, surely. Yes, it was against Hines. No question about that. John Steve Bickler goes back. Opened up pretty well, Steve Bickler. Launches off a drop punt. Maynard's there, but so is Winton. From behind Phelps. Goes to the boundary. I don't know about that. As Ian Day and I often confer, if they go for the boundary in that fashion, it's almost penalisable because the ball is not strictly being kept in play. Boundary throwing. Steve Bickler got a contest with Hines. Free kick to Steve Bickler again. Against Hines. Got to watch those. If the man boots him to the front spot, he simply can't lay over him. Steve Bickler. 5th kick. High into the forward line. Good position was Phillips, but it goes over his head. Off the ground. Picked up by Winton. Left foot. Straight to Leslie. Can't believe that. 6 Port Adelaide players to no Glenelg people. Well, we've got to run with the play. Oh, well done, Wharton. Good stuff. He handballs now across. Picked up by Ginnivan. Chip shot. Yes, can't do better than that. Michael O'Brien. Half full flank today for Port Adelaide. Over the top now to Foster. Foster short to Harvey by himself. Gee whiz. Somebody's got to be on him. I don't know who it is. Well, I do know, but he's nowhere near him. And so Foster set up the play and found Harvey, giving him a free shot for goal, you might say.
Harvey boots his second. Loose checking there by Bays. The loose man was set up on the half-back line, and they just ran the ball with ease through their half-forward line, and the Bays defence being run ragged at the moment. Port have got the last 3 goals, and they now lead, correction, only the last 2, I think it was, yes, the last 2 goals, and they now lead 4 goals to 2-2 on 10 Sports Action.
It's Wayne Stringer's man once he's in the forward line, and there's some confusion, I think, with the vacating of players. See, now that McDermott's on the ball, I got a feeling that Harvey must come on the ball again to take up his customary role of standing him. Bounce up. Oh, a little bloke from behind. Marnie won the knockout, if you don't mind. Down to the ground. It's ball up again. Almost slap bang in the centre. McCavish comes up with the ball with Wayne Marnie standing him very closely. Bounce up again. Carey's there, and he just grabs hold of the ball and feeds out the Stringer, who loses it. Foster. Darren Smith. Good stuff to O'Brien. It's Simpson. Simpson high into the forward line. It won't quite get there as far as the goal is concerned, but a point is always a handy score. 1 point to Port. Port 4 goals, won their first behind for the match. 25, leading Glenelg 2-2-14 on 10 Sports Action.
Almost 20 minutes gone, first quarter. Building to be a great game. Oh, that's short. West is going to bend his back. He did. Whips out a long handball. Likewise, Marshall got to go back to West. No, wanders through the pack. Hooks back high. Gee, that hasn't gone anywhere at all. Simpson looking for it. Up there goes West. Back Salisbury. High tackle maybe. Geneva pushing the back. And that's the way the decision goes. I think Bone McDermott knew it. He didn't like it, but he realised it was there. Tim Geneva can't make the distance from there. Has booted one. He's going in short. Salisbury should cut it off. Here's a chance now. Williams. Look for Foster. Lost him. Williams again. Hooks around the corner. Going in over the top. Hodges can't. Tyler can't quite. And the umpire says it's out of play. Well, big chance there for Tyler. Hodges was never really in a position to mark it. It was an awkward kick, Graham. It was a tumble putt.
I thought Tyler was the only bloke to touch that ball in, so a second grab at it would have been the mark for him, but he didn't do it. Dennis Russell came in, just put him off. Darren Smith shoots for goal and kicks it. Ho-ho! Darren Smith doing the ruck out of the forward line, has grabbed that throw in. It's always a good tactic close to home to grab the throw in and try and have a quick shot for goal, and Darren Smith has achieved just that. That's his first goal for the game, and Port Adelaide's fifth. Port 5-1-31 lead, Glenelg 2-2-14 on 10 Sports Action.
Yes, that was a bad one as far as the Bays were concerned. The strength of Darren Smith was to the fore. He just held his strength in the pack and wouldn't budge. At the bounce, Carey in opposition to Hines, line ball. Maynard gets it out nicely, but to whom? Leslie now, well shepherded by Hines. The running player was Simpson, one of the 1-2. An awkward one back, finds Stephen Williams. That's holding the ball again. Hasn't had a big morning, played well, but 3 times has lost it. You're not going to take the free kick away, eh? What's he talking to the umpire about now? David Weston, no? Alan Stringer, 3 times he's lost it for holding the ball already in this first quarter. 22 minutes gone.
Having plenty to say too, Stephen Williams, I might add there. You know what he's complaining about. He was caught cold with that one. Carey fights for that one. In comes Steve Bickler. Tapped along the ground. Back to Carey. Over the ball. He was stuck in the middle there. David Marshall's part of it, but he's the last bloke part of it. John Simpson's there also, his direct opponent. Picking themselves up are McDermott and or Wayne Marnie, who seems to love it at that ground level action. Here's a bloke taking a closer view of the play, one would think. Bounce up. Carey. Oh, his tap downs are enormous, aren't they? McTavish didn't quite get hold of it, but the tap on was perfect to McTavish, just didn't take advantage of it. Once again, we get a bounce up on the centre wing position on the outer side of the ground.
Carey rucking well, but unfortunately the Bay's not doing a lot with it. Greg Boyd back in defence on the half-back line. Puts it up for Smith. Cruz there with him. The bounce would aside. Coming to meet it. Tyler couldn't get the run of it. West there. Stephen Williams takes Tyler's run. West over the top. Puts on the saddle again. And the umpire this time will come and ball it up on the half-forward line. Well, they are just a little biased, but I go along with them. They're great supporters. Well done. Carey, Tyler, Airy. In goes Salisbury. Foster was there as well. Marshall gets out a long way. It's a sweeping handball. Chigwedden on the half-back line. The running player is Stringer. Allen tight in towards the half-forward line. Hodgman needs a sit. Williams puts him down. Hodgman's got the footy again, but he can't get that one out. And umpire Ross Campbell will come in for the bounce. 24 minutes gone. Port is 5-1. The Bay's 2-2.
And we're seeing good spirited football here at Football Park in this late game today. Good stuff. Carey's there. Oh, it could be over the top now. Carey wins again. McDermott, Phillips, Chigwedden. Good stuff by McDermott. He knows how to feed the ball out to other people. Under the ball was Melican. Oh, handball. If he should handball, but may not, but he didn't. And it cost him a goal from behind. If he handballs across, certain goal. He chose not to. Had a shot from an oblique angle.
He knows it what's more too, Graham. He's just shaking his head that he realised he didn't see the player. As you said, it would have been a lay-down was there, that goal.
No question. It's cost the Bays dearly. Nonetheless, Roger Delaney kicks in. Phelps. Oh, it's over his head. Oh, Marshall. Brilliant skills, this guy. Left foot kick for goal. Don't tell me he's going to kick it from there. No, he hasn't. Just missed. Gee, David Marshall is a very, well, he's a worrying opponent for anybody. I think the way he can go either side of his body with consummate ease. And that occasion almost kicked the goal from some 50 metres out into the bruise, if you don't mind. Delaney goes short. I don't like this short stuff, but Roger does. Martin Leslie marks. That's a healthy kick by Leslie. Looking for Hines. Carey from behind. Oh, plenty of Bay players there. Steve Bickler, left foot kick, the sixth kick for the game. Goes high looking for Maynard and finds him. Yes, that's a mark. No question. Peter Maynard goes back now some 40 metres out on a pretty bad angle, Ian.
Yeah, he won't make the distance from there, Graham. He'll put it up for grabs. Puts it up towards Melican over the top. Fine mark. Phillips. Phillips will whip it out wide. The running player is Boyd. In short is Simpson. He's got no one else, or has he? Phelps is there, won't make the distance, or will he? Yes, he did. Lost the footy now. Here's a chance for the Bays. Well played there on the floor. Foster's got the free kick. He'll play it on. Gets it out now to Phelps. Phelps in turn wants a runner, or put Phillips under pressure. Did it well. John Harvey, Port Adelaide with method. Now almost run down. Drives in towards the pocket. Cruz getting back, can't find it. Salisbury, Smith over the top. A chance, Tyler through the pack. He wants support. Hodges it is. Tries to get a handball away. Williams, or ducks the tackle. Gets it out wide. John Harvey bowled. Jennifer Watson, he's caught on the left leg. Puts it up in towards full forward. Grenville. With him there, O'Brien. Puts it out wide. And the Bays are out of trouble through Hewitt.
Great football by Grenville. Great saving football. Over to Hewitt. Hewitt goes long around the grandstand side looking for Carey. Leslie marks from behind. Top work by Martin Leslie. Hangs it up. Oh, easy mark to Marnie. Unopposed again. The Rovers have got to tighten up. The Glenelg Rovers, that is. Finds Harrison coming down from the back pocket. So no question, both Glenelg Rovers are pretty close to the action at the moment, bringing Harrison into the play, because from the back pocket he would hardly walk up there without an opponent to follow. Harrison, he fancies himself from there. He's about 55 metres out, directly in front and with the breeze behind him. Torpedo punt, not the best kick in the world. Draws, oh, great mark. Great mark in the square by Jim West. Does it well. That's where the little bloke should be for that falling ball. West left hand across, finds Carey. Carey to Grenville. Doing well, Grenville. Hangs it up. Chigwidden leads his opponent to the ball once again. This time his opponent, Greg Boyd, is close enough to cause a contest though. No doubt been told by John Carl to tighten up. He's done just that.
Into time on first quarter, 27 minutes gone. Port Adelaide by 15, had first use of the breeze. It's not all that strong once you get below the cantilevers. Hines over the top, cleverly got it down to Wharton. Greg Boyd, beautifully. John Harvey, half forward line. Lace out pass, 15 metres against Salisbury, or is it? No. Yes, he is going to bring him back 15 metres. John Harvey just summoned him to the boondock. Salisbury's not giving it away in a hurry. Now, that's it, according to the umpire. If John Harvey can kick it from here, Graham Campbell will call him a genius.
Hold on, must go home.
35 metres out, he puts it up for grabs, coming back with a boot. Good afternoon, Graham Campbell. Harvey boots his third. Port Adelaide 6-1. The Tigers 2-4 on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, I cannot believe it. Is that the second goal he's kicked from that oblique angle, Ian? Yeah, but 2 from that angle, I mean. He's kicked 3 for the game so far in 27 minutes of football. I'm sure he's kicked 2 from that position that I regard as no man's land. Great goal of John Harvey, and Port Adelaide 6-1-37. As Ian Day said, a commanding 21-point lead, although I think they'll need every bit of it when the Bays have this breeze.
Harvey's booted the last 3 Port Adelaide goals. Hines against Carey. Line ball, Harvey again playing a great game. Maynard wobbles one to the half-forward line. Phelps had to do it hard, joined by Boyd on the left leg. They go up towards the half-forward line. Smith chanced his arm, did it well. Jennifer, the running player, brought into action again. Out comes Hodges out in front. Great mark. Brilliantly done. Port Adelaide on fire at the moment. And Hodges gets the ball 35 metres out on a 60-degree angle.
One of the best marking players in South Australian football is Scott Hodges. Once he gets his body in line with that ball and he lifts himself from the ground, he's very hard to beat.
One grabs towards the southern end. You'll know as soon as we did, you can't kick him any better than that through the middle. Port Adelaide jump to the lead now. 7-1 to 2-4, 29 minutes gone first quarter.
Might I also add that Scott Hodges has an amazing conversion rate. He doesn't miss all that often, and any distance close to home, he usually splits the centre. No trouble that time, and only good players can do that. Scott Hodges, a really top player, and a full forward of some consequence in this competition.
The Bays need a breather, either quarter time or a goal. At the bounce, Carey hooks it back to Stringer. Can't get out, the saddle goes on. Here's a chance now, Boyd again. No, it's Wharton. Wharton tumbles one towards centre wing. Hewitt could get there first. Gets a screen from McTavish, but he's got no one in support of him now. Did it pretty well, McTavish, but he takes the ball out. A throw in on the half-forward left flank with the Bays in attack. and badly needing a goal.
Yes, they're desperate now, the Bays. They started off really well the first 5 minutes of play, but Port have taken over completely since that point in time. Maynard out to Hewitt. Hewitt kicks a floppy kick towards centre-half forward. Sneebickler forced out by Boyd. The big fellow Phillips. In goes Chigwin. Gee, searched for that ball in. He really gave it the old heave-ho. He got enveloped by Port Adelaide players, including Harrison. I think Phillips is there somewhere also. And disentangling themselves. Quarter time. 30 minutes that quarter took. Port 7-1-43. Leading Glenelg 2-4-16.
Fine first quarter by Port Adelaide. They lead by 27 points as we start the second quarter of the doubleheader late game. Umpire going to recall the bounce. Port Adelaide 7-1 to 2-4. Umpire Ross Campbell wants a better effort. Unbelievable conditions. Thought the crowd might have been a smidgen higher, but must be in the high teens. At the bounce, Carey. The Bays with the breeze have got a lift. Stringer gets it out, hoping there for McDermott. Stephen Williams, Grubbers one. Chance Port Adelaide. Michael O'Brien wants a runner. Leslie, you'll have to work hard now. Gets support. Phelps gets it back. Leslie off the half wall. Runs Michael O'Brien into trouble. Close to the line. Grenvold a chance. In goes Marnie will make that. Now, who's he going to give a free kick to out of all that?
That's a free kick. That is absolutely ridiculous.
I can't believe it.
I cannot believe it either, Ian, because Grenvold just went for the ball and Marnie got underneath him. There was no free kick there, and 1,000 times. Marshall wins the falling ball. Kicks it back, but not the usual immaculate Marshall kick. Maynard's there, but so is Simpson, but Maynard holds ground. Play on, says the umpire. But Dermott's after it. Oh, great hand pass out to Cruz. The Cruz can't take advantage of it. Foster comes in. Over to O'Brien. Oh, gosh, that was a golden opportunity gone begging by Michael O'Brien. Usually a sharpshooter close to goal, but his accuracy deserted him. And 1 point only. Port 7-1, Glenelg 2-4.
Panicked a little bit then, Graham. He could have taken a bit of time then and steadied. He kicked too quickly and suffered. Dennis Russell looking for a lead. West goes to the outer side. He's going for Alan Stringer. He's only got Williams to beat, and Stringer does it well. That's a good kick, Dennis Russell. The running player is his brother Wayne. Wayne goes long, half forward line. Coming to meet it, Snebickler can't bring it down. Quickly through Chigwin. Chigwin thought about Hewitt, smothered brilliantly. Well done, big fellow Phelps. Takes care of the Bay player. High tackle. I don't know. Gee, Wayne Stringer gets a free kick at centre wing. Graham, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it was there, Ian, for mine. I know I was a bit critical a moment ago, but that was there because Wayne Stringer, he jumped on him. The big fellow, Phelps. Was it Phelps? Anyhow, free kick to Harrison. No, not Harrison, sorry. He gives it up. At the back door now to the big fellow Delaney. Delaney goes short again. He must give it up. Handball by McDermott. Looking for Hewitt. Caught with the ball. It's holding the ball for mine. Umpire sees it that way. Against Big Hines. And Mark Hewitt gets the resulting free kick. Plenty of options. Melican leading. Doesn't want him. Will go long. I would think he would go long to Sneebickler. He's done just that. From behind Sneebickler. Just misses it. Melican mops up. Loses it. Delaney on his wrong foot, his right foot. Out the outer area. In comes Maynard. 2 to beat. Yes, they sandwich him virtually. Ginnivan wins the falling ball. Maynard's hurt. At the outer ground. Williams playing in the centre on Alan Stringer. Holding the man, one would think. Play on, says the umpire. Over the top. Ginnivan closes in. Hangs it up himself. Looking for the high flyers. Where's Hodges? Tyler tried to get on to O'Brien. Couldn't. Russell thereabouts. Carey knocks it over. Wayne Stringer to Salisbury. He put his head down. Umpire's paid neck. I don't agree. Put his head down. Once your head's down, you're up for grabs for mine. I'm not saying it's holding the ball, but it should be a ball up at worst. Salisbury gets 15 metres as well. Now, what's happening now? The umpire...
Actually, Scotty was lucky twice then.
Take a ticket in the lot for him, Lotto. From behind Melican. Almost. In comes Hodgman. Must do more, Hodgman. He's running around, but not much effort from his work. He hangs it up. Kicks it straight to the Port Adelaide bloke lurking in the square. It's Phelps. Launches a kick to Marshall, it would appear. Watch this kick. Marshall loves these. Runs into an open goal. Can't bring it back. 1 point only. That's more how I see that side of the ground, Ian, when a player comes in shooting for goal, and Marshall is a pass master. They're splitting the centre, but he couldn't on that occasion. Port 7-2. Have a handy lead over Glenelg. 2-5-17. 27 points.
He put it in low, Graham. I think he beat the winner on that occasion. Delaney goes to the outer side. That's well put. Ginnivan playing well for Port Adelaide. It's his 8th kick. Goes towards centre wing, or he will if he can get clear of Hodgman. 15 metres. Watch it, Hodgie. It'll be 30. The umpire, gee, he's pinged him 30 in any case. Hodgie can't believe it. I'd love to buy land off that umpire. As Ginnivan drives centre field up towards Darren Smith, who can't. Williams, Smith gets it out now. In trouble was Phelps. Stephen Williams smothered. Brilliantly done there. It was Chigwedden. Quickly McDermott. Back now Maynard. Maynard appeared to get a corky earlier. Up towards half forward line. 1 on 3 there. Out comes Phillips. Phillips whips it out wide. Harrison. McTavish there with him. Goes out wide. A chance now for Hewitt. Misjudged the mark badly as he goes to the line. And the ball tumbles out of play underneath Hewitt.
I was going to say, Ian, doesn't Chigwedden like the hard ball? By gee, he gets after like a ferret. It's unbelievable. He's just at the ball all the time, and no wonder he's replaced in this side. Last week replaced early in the game, but today he's been out there for the whole duration thus far. Smith and Carey. Carey knocks it on. McDermott closing in. Oh, good stuff. Peter Maynard picks up the loose ball. Not loose ball so much as meant for him. Seebeckler from behind the pack can't control the ball. Melican can't either. Different play this week, Melican to last week. Out to Greg Boyd. Running free of the play. Will go for another bounce. No, he won't. Left-hand hand pass over the top of Ginnivan. Back to Boyd in the 1-2. Boyd, handballs to nobody. Oh, well done, little bloke. McTavish over the top to Hodgman. He likes this, Hodgman. Loves pressure. There it is. And he misses comprehensively. When I said there it is, I thought it was immoral to kick that goal. But no. Missed, as I say, by the country mile, the country kilometre. 7-2, Glenelg, 2-5.
2 bad misses. Hodgie should have got that once. De Bickler about a minute earlier. Roger Delaney gets a lead on the outer side there from Wharton. In fact, he's going for that player. John Harvey's out there in support, and he's got it. Harvey off the half-back line, booted 3 goals in 5 minutes in the first quarter. Did brilliantly. His 6th kick, valued for money. That one, Carey can't. Phelps through. Now Stringer, he'll have to lift. They need him. In goes McDermott. Over the top is Foster, and the umpire will come and ball it up centre wing outer side. Port Adelaide at the moment by 26 points.
The glaring problem with Glenelg is their attack at the moment. They just can't convert. They need something out of their final line of attack, much more than what's happening at the moment. Carey out to Stringer, Alan Stringer that is, over to his brother Wayne. Wayne searching for it, finds it, high kick, looking for the big men. Melican's there, so is Beckland from behind is Melican, not paid. Marshall, can he do it this time? Pull it back. Marshall, 1 point, out in the full, out in the full. David Marshall not having the best of days shooting for goal thus far. Although, you know, as a wingman, you can't expect too much.
Well, hang on, Graham, there's no better kick in league football than David Marshall, I don't think, and he's missed 2. One on the run from that impossible angle, and that one which he had to hook back, but he didn't even score with that one. Delaney puts it up centre wing. Carey there over the top. Stringer. Marshall again, cleverly to Winton. Winton's handball is not good. Only found Leslie. Leslie puts out a long one. Stephen Williams thought about Michael O'Brien. Doesn't want him. Out comes Tyler. That's the way the ball will go. No, Hodges it is. Hodges goes in long, up towards full forward. Smith's going to get to sit at the back. Salisbury, Marnie there with him. Down he goes, and the umpire's going to give him a free kick for a push in the back. Little lucky.
All his criticisms come at once. Scott Salisbury's had a couple of free kicks this week. Normally he's, well, he doesn't get a lot of free kicks. I can say no more than that. Salisbury launches off a drop punt. Good kick for him. With the breeze though. Carey from behind. McDermott's there, so is Maynard. Feeds it across to Alan Stringer. Alan will go for a run. One bounce. No, he's only taken the one bounce. Finds Schneebeckler. Well done, Schneebeckler. Led well, and Stringer found him just as well. What will Schneebeckler do? He's got no height up there at all. Winton's dropped back, but so too is Greg Boyd, and it goes over the goal scoring line for one behind only, and that's about as much as the Bay's got to hope, given the people up there. Port 7-2, Glenelg 2-7.
There's the Tiger supporters. Not a lot to smile about at the moment. Hines off the half-back line, finds Phillips. Port Adelaide looking a better side at the moment. Phillips just to check side of the centre line. Looks for options. Off goes Hodges to the outer side. That's where he's going. Right there with him is Russell over the top. Oh, Foster off the pack. The umpire says a free kick, Hodges. And that'll go back to the half-forward line for the Port Adelaide full forward.
I think there's 15 metres on here too, I think. No?
One says yes and the other says no. Hodges from the half-forward line. Marnie wants it short. Well, you can't be that short. He reckons he's got to go up 15 metres. Marnie reckons the umpire's given him 15 metres. Actually, I think he's right. Leslie, well done. Came back from the half-back line, or came down from the half-back line, and got towards centre-half forward.
Yeah, probably ruck roving, Ian. It's not that easy to pick up what the tactics are, but Leslie probably is on the ball at the moment.
Christie warming up on the half, well, not on the half-forward line, he's in the bunker, but he started on the ground, and he's interchanged pretty quickly. Leslie might be too far out. Screws a nice one right up towards full forward. Who's up there? O'Brien can't. Grenvold whips out a handball. Here's trouble for Port Adelaide, or is it? Tyler, high tackle. And the umpire says no, he's going to ball it up 30 metres out in front of the Port Adelaide goal.
They're always dangerous, Port, close to the goal with marking power. The marking power of Scott Hodges, and to a lesser degree, I guess, Darren Smith. But not that time. Quick hand pass by McTavish. Finishes up Alan Stringer's hands. Alan Stringer running free of the play. Long drop punt over to the wing. David Marshall in perfect position, and a perfectly placed ball by Stringer. Marshall handballs over the top to Maynard. Once again running free of his opponent. Maynard chips. Oh, top kick. See Bickler. He's on that bad angle though. Oh. Wayne Marley, nothing in that. He just puts the hands out as if he wasn't even meant to be there. He goes short. Not the most advisable place to be. Whitten. Oh, handballs, but doesn't handball. Oh, gee whiz, that was pretty ordinary stuff by... and Phelps mops up by Glenelg. Marshall on that characteristic left foot. Long left foot kick into the square. What a position for the ball to be. Hodgman comes forward. Hines looking for Leslie. Leslie over the top. It could be a free kick. No, it's not. When I see the umpire go for his whistle, I always think maybe it's a free kick, but no.
Super carry off in the bunker. Graham Corn's not happy. Carey's having a word to say to his coach, but I can tell you what, the forward line is a mess. Off goes Leslie. Peter is not happy. He's still not happy. Neither is Graham. Back at the football on the outer side. Salisbury can't get it out. Super still seething there in the bunker, and the ball goes to the line. Drama at Footy Park at the 11-minute mark, second quarter.
I can't believe that. Peter really is going on with it too. I mean, the coach is always right, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but I mean, that's how it is. So one man in charge, and that is the coach. Sneebickle from behind, gets the ball down to ground level. Harrison mops up, out the back door to Leslie, over the top. Not a very intelligent hand pass. Tigridden wins out, gets it to Hodgman. Hodgman goes high. He's got it back into it, does Melican. He does that. Oh, don't tell me a gift goal. It is. Oh, gee, didn't the base do that? That's Melican's first. Been a long time coming in comparison to last week's performance. But there it is. Glenelg 3-7-25, trailing Port 7-2-44.
Well, they certainly needed that to say that it was urgent was the understatement of the year. Melican got the easy one. Bad luck for Delaney. He played it pretty well. He tried to get the punch away, but he lost his footing in the end. And it's a goal. They won about 4 more. They're down 7-2 to 3-7, 12 minutes gone.
Oh, yeah, boy, did the Bays need that one. But there it is, it's there. Christie on the ball now. Peter Carey off the ground. At ground level. Wharton loses possession. May be held on to. Free kick. Holding a man. To Wharton. Wharton launches it off. Looking for John Harvey. Playing a very damaging game because nobody seems to be on him. Harvey. Looking for Tyler, but will find the line. Jim West comes in and tidies up. Out of bounds over on the outer side of the ground. Right half forward flank for Port Adelaide. And there's the crowd. Something like 17,000 Ian Day estimates. I've got no idea.
Well said. I support that. 7-2 to 3-7. At the throw-in. Smith, well done. Got it up to Harvey. Obviously called to play on. Gee, he hasn't got the footy. Could have got a free kick. He's just looking back to the umpire and poses the question, but umpire David Weston will come in for the bounce. Just says, John, bad luck. Better luck next time. 7-2 to 3-7, 13 minutes gone. Port by 19 points. The Bays have got a problem. Towards the line and out of play. A throw in about 30 metres around from the Port Adelaide goal.
And really, Ian, Port are closing up the game very well. They're just, playing what you might call a game of enclosement. Such a word as that. When they get it close to home, they just fall on the ball and the game doesn't get open, which the Bays love. Quick kick. Could be a mark. Umpire's paid it. Wayne Stringer must pay it. Not against Michael O'Brien, but it's a mark against Michael O'Brien. And I think he must come back a little bit now to give Stringer some chance of getting rid of the ball. He does just that. He's still working hard in the mark. Good stuff by O'Brien. I like to see that. High kick by Stringer. Oh, up in the air. was the Port guy, but a quick kick into the action by Williams. Finds Cruz. Cruz out the back door. On a quick kick again into the arms of Grenville, one would have hoped. But Wayne Stringer got rid of it. Hodgman now, trying hard to come into the game. Hodgman, Grenville. High kick Grenville to Chigwin. Oh, well done, little fellow. He really has done a good job in that half-forward flank today against a man almost twice his size.
Well, he actually hasn't interchanged him, Graham. He interchanged Christie for Winton. Normally it's Chigwin who gets the hook pulled out to grab him off. Oh, McMarshall, right forward pocket. He put this one through. Brilliantly done. The impossible angle. Kick number 10. Goal number 1. 4-7 to 7-2 as Super Carey about to come back into the game.
Give a good man a second chance. There's Peter Carey waiting to come on. His words of advice to the coach have paid off, it would appear. He's back on the ground, but Marshall's goal, what a classic. He's had a couple of chances to do it. He's finally kicked a second goal for the game, but his first goal from that oblique angle that we talk so much about here at Football Park. A great goal, David Marshall. Not quite as good as John Harvey's two from the same area, but good nevertheless.
Carey on, but he hasn't gone into ruck. Now, who's back there? It looks to be... can't see who it is there. Gary Christie's there. Probably it's Wintonoff. Can't pick it up. It's the Bickler out wide. Well done, Harrison. Here's a chance now. McTavish puts it out for Hewitt. Hewitt around the corner, coming to meet it. Chigwin. Oh, what a solid player is this young fellow. Seizing his opportunity. He's starting to star in the forward lines, and don't the Bays need him. 4-7 to 7-2 down. 13 points in it. Halfway through the second quarter.
And might I say, it's a remarkable performance by Chigwin. He's naturally a rover. His size has to be a rover. He's played half-full flank the entire game and really done it well.
30 metres out, it's starting to come away. He's got it. Kick number 7, that's his first goal. Second goal, the Bays fight back. 5-7 to 7-2 on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, you've got to take your hat off the little man. He's just done it so well from the half-full flank. A very unusual position for a man of his stature. He's not roving. Mark my words, he's playing as a permanent half-forward. That normally goes to guys that have got a bit more height and strength, I guess, or not strength so much. Chigwin's very strong for his size, but I mean, he's not your normal half-forward. He's come up with 2 great goals. He's kept the Bays in the game.
The Bays make their bed. 16 minutes into the second quarter as umpire Campbell puts it down. Christie thumps it to the half-forward line. It's the Bickler can't. Running into trouble, Wharton. McDermott at the bottom of the pack. Puts it up for Hewitt. Well done, Foster. Out wide as the Bickler gets the handball away. Hewitt again on the left leg. Hooks it back, looking for Milliken. Out comes Big Super. Can't quite get there. Oh, that was a Russell Ebert smash handball. Great stuff as the big fellow puts it back. On the half-back line, that was Port Adelaide's Phelps who got the kick away. Now it's Grenville, gets it off. Salisbury puts it back, Milliken. Up goes the big fellow over the top. Fine Mark Delaney, and he's got it in the back pocket. The football is hotting up.
Great defensive work by Roger Delaney. He sees a lead. Oh, Hodgman's chipped in. Oh, what a classic blunder. You can't do that. You really can't.
You remember he did one of those last week, Graham. He kicked out of bounds at a critical moment, and they lost by a point.
Well, I don't know. Big Roger Delaney, I think he's a fine player, mind you. I'm not criticising the man as a footballer. He's got a lot of good qualities, but his kicking just needs to be tidied up. Now, Hodgman gets a free shot for goal for that kick from Big Roger. He hangs it up. Oh, don't tell me it's going to cost him the full impost. It's a goal to Hodgman. That's Hodgie's first. And the Bays march under 6-7-43. 1 point behind Port. 7-2-44.
Well, I agree with you, Graham. Roger Delaney's turned into a fine full back, but gee, he takes some chances. On that occasion, he passed the ball. It wasn't even a cross goal. He just put it up right into the front of their goal. Hodgman saw what was coming, intercepted, and Port Adelaide paid for that transgression. The Bays down by 1 point, 18 minutes gone.
And Glenelg, a team of opportunists. Give them an inch, they'll take a yard. They've done just that. Christie and Foster down to Stringer. Gee, they're starting to become very evident in their attack on the ball now, the Bays. High kick, looking forward but not finding the big fellow. Milliken over to Maynard. Left foot kick for goal. He split the centre. Oh, the Bays have hit the front. I can't believe they've come back from nothing. First goal to Peter Maynard. He does that quite often, mind you, when he's caught in his wrong foot. He doesn't mind. Port 7-2, trailing Glenelg 7-7.
Once again, young Nicky Chidwin in the action there. He was the player that burrowed the ball out when the big fella Milliken couldn't take the mark. Just an ever so slight handball to Peter Maynard, and he did the rest. And what a fight back from the Bays now. They have kicked an unbelievable 4 goals in 4 minutes to hit the front by 5 points.
Well, isn't football a funny game? We were lamenting how bad Glenelg were going some 15 minutes ago. Now they're on top. Christie wins out again. Just though, fractionally. Foster into his forward line. Looking for Marnie. Salisbury's there, so is Cruz, and in comes Smith closing on Cruz. Caught with the ball. One more thing holding the ball. And it is. Brings it back. No, won't let Marnie play on. Marnie wants to, but it would disadvantage... Oh, gee. No, he didn't kick it, I don't think. It would disadvantage the side, and Darren Smith will be given the ball some 45 metres out on a slight angle, but not really too far out for this man's kicking ability. Nonetheless, still not an easy goal. The bruise is blowing into his face somewhat. Cruz is shaking his head on the mark. He thinks nothing was wrong with his tackle then. And there he jumps as Smith comes in. Won't quite get the distance. Hangs up. Big fellas fly. Up in the air. In comes O'Brien. Closes on the ball. Oh, tries to turn it around. Very difficult. Courage needed, boys. Everyone goes for it. No one finishes up with it. Oh, what a clash. Salisbury at the Cruz. Great work. West over the top. Can't quite find Marshall. But Marshall in his usual style gets the ball but handballs, and Wharton covers it beautifully. Good stuff all round.
Oh, Peter, that was super football there. What courage by Salisbury. And the Port Adelaide player, he didn't shirk it. They made the ball their object, and they went at it hammer and tongs. Salisbury's not all that flash, but he's got courage to burn, that young fellow.
Full-blooded footballers, red-blooded football, I suppose I would say, and great stuff. Marnie has it, dispossessed. Marshall playing well, round the corner, looking for Sue Bickley. 2-1 here. Sue Bickley, that's the only thing he could do. Knocks the ball towards the boundary, and that time it's not penalisable because the man was caught out on all fours and put one hand to the ball and forced it over the line. Phillips takes after him again. That's his opponent. It's Christie again. Big fellow from the side is Hines. Up by Hines. Marshall playing the top game over to McTavish, forced on his wrong foot, which is his right foot. See a bit drops to the short hole. Phillips, left hand, great hand pass to Williams, over the top. Oh, they're finding Hodgman with monotonous ease, this Port Adelaide side. Maynard taps over to Chiggy. Chigwidden, that is. In comes McDermott, showing his normal courage. Handball over the top. Straight to the big fellow Phelps. Does a long left foot kick, characteristic of his normal kicking ability.
Darryl Chenoweth it was.
Chenoweth was on the ground, is he? Left hand, finds Hodgman. McTavish, chip shot, intelligent stuff. Hewitt, they're running right at the moment, the Bays, doing as they like. Unopposed is Maynard, would you believe? He is Martin Leslie's man. Yet the great Martin Leslie has just read the play a little bit inconsistently the last couple of times. Maynard's got the last goal, admittedly from a hand pass, but nonetheless, he tidied up well with that ball, and now Maynard goes back. A great kick for goal is Peter Maynard. Ian Day and I have often spoken about this, but he would be the most reliable kick for goal in the Bay team that I know anyhow. Maynard splits the centre. No worries. Maynard second. The Bays 8th. 8-7-55 leading Port. 7-2-44. Maynard's 10th kick. And as I said, his second goal.
An unbelievable turnaround in the game. The Bays all of a sudden have picked up the bit and starting to run. They've got Darryl Chenoweth on. He's the son of the former West Adelaide player Max Chenoweth, and I'm just trying to see where he's gone. I think no, Phelps is on. Can't pick up where he is, but at the centre bounce we've got Hines against Christie. Geneva gets the kick. Michael O'Brien couldn't quite get it out. Wharton through. Hodgman works the ball. He's going to have to beat Harvey. Oh, little Hodgie did it well. Floats one around the corner. Bickler needs a sit. Tries to get it off to Cruz. Cruz is in trouble too. Wharton over the top, looking for someone to pass off to. Bickler in the action, gets it over to Marshall, who takes a metre, then drives in towards Chigwidden again. Big Melican's got it all. Carey's in the square by himself. The big fella can take it home. What a lay down there. Super Bucci's first. The Bays go from strength to strength. 9-7 to 7-2 on 10 Sports Action.
I bet Peter Carey is now saying, I told you so to Graham Coons, bring me back on the field. He's now kicked his first goal for the game. Great work upfield though by other players and getting the ball down. They're just irrepressible at the moment, Glenelg, the way they're playing their football. And Carey in the square. Melican saw him, could have kicked the goal himself but decided to share it, which he must do in a situation like that. And Carey's taken the mark right in the square and popped it through for the Glenelg's 9th goal.
I've got an idea the Bays have kicked the last 6 goals. Whatever it is, Corns will be a lot happier. Hines against Christie. Back towards the half-back line. Christie again. Smith in hard. Will need support. Searching for it. There is Hewitt. But Smith has won a free kick. Sweeps it out wide, Leslie. Off they go on the forward line as Leslie puts it up for grab. Hodges over the top. Thumped away by Russell. Fortuitously, McTavish out wide. Wayne Stringer. Stringer comes back. He looks for Hodgman. No. Gives it over to Christie. Christian turned back to McTavish. The Bay starting to play with method. Call up towards the half-forward line, but easily done by Hines in defence.
In answer to your question, Ian, the Bays have kicked 6 goals this quarter to Port's none. Port haven't scored a goal. And looking a bit sick just at the moment.
They have got the last 6, I think. Doesn't matter, I believe you.
Yeah, they've also got, that's right, they've got the last 7 actually, because Port haven't scored a goal. McTavish wins the ball. Oh, great kick. What a brilliant deliverer of the ball is that man. McDermott has it. Goes across ground looking for Maynard, unopposed again. Gee whiz, somebody's got to tighten up on Peter Maynard. He's having a ball this quarter, and each time he's almost been by himself. Maynard 7 kicks for the quarter, and he'll get the distance, no worries. Accuracy should not be a problem. And 2 goals this quarter also. He's going for his 3rd. And, well, I guess the evasive or defensive action must be taken by Port against this man. He skips a little bit coming in, hangs it up. No problems. As I said before to Ende, one of the most classic kicks on the side is Peter Maynard. He doesn't miss him. That's 3 for the quarter. The Bays are taking a stranglehold on the game. 10-7, 67, leading Port 7-2, 44.
All of a sudden, the little men of the Bays have taken over. Superb game from Maynard, also young Chigwidden. McDermott getting into the game. Marshall playing well at centre wing. And their distribution of the ball has been superb. Port Adelaide are floundering. They haven't kicked a goal in the last almost 28 minutes since they kicked their last goal.
It's remarkable, and the turnabout in this football. One would have thought Port had a bit of a clamp on the game at quarter time. Christie wins out again, rucking well. Oh, great smother by Williams. Magnificent smother, actually. Courageous stuff. At ground level, they fight for the ball again, and the umpire must call for it. Right in the centre of the ground. It's virtually a take 2 of the last bounce up. Yes, it's remarkable football that they can turn around so quickly, and the Bays were sort of fighting in the bunker at one stage. That's how bad they were going. And out of that has come this brilliant turnabout. That's all it's been. Just brilliant. Nothing short of that can be said. Bouncer. A little bit wayward again, not as bad as the previous one. Hines knocks it down. Quick kick by Harrison. Searching for the ball is Harvey. Oh, well done, Alan Stringer. That was magnificent. Handball over the top. Looking for and finding Cruz. Cruz kicks towards the forward line. Chigwidden again. He's out. He's beaten this time by Foster. Foster out the back door. He's been shifted, Foster, obviously. Marnie almost caught with the ball, but great hand pass. Finds Wharton. Goes high looking for Darren Smith. Down to the ground it comes. Darren, 2 Port blokes. That typifies their plight this quarter. O'Brien picks up the loose ball and kicks for goal, but misses. Oh, gee whiz, how can he miss that? Jack's upset. And why shouldn't he be? Because Michael O'Brien's one of those guys that doesn't normally miss those running in, but boy, it's amazing just how far down Port have gone in confidence since that great first quarter they had. Players are shooting from all angles, and 2 blokes then just fool each other for the one ball. It's hard to believe.
Michael O'Brien has missed 2 from a similar spot. 1 in the first 5 minutes of the quarter, and obviously that one. Almost identical shots. Ball goes out towards Christie. Within there is Hines. He goes for the safety of the line. 27 minutes gone, second quarter, and the Bays have booted 8 goals. So Port Adelaide's 8 goals, in actual fact 8 goals 3 to only 2 points by Port Adelaide. What a quarter. Christie. Marnie gets it out wide. Here's a chance for them now. Goes back in board to now. Unloads it now to Geneva. Well smothered off the boot. Quickly now Russell. He's quite happy to see it go through the point. I'm just trying to think who smothered that. It could have been McTavish. Graham, did you pick it up?
Actually, I was watching Dennis Russell get after that errant ball rather than who smothered. No, I'm sorry, I missed that. Mark Hewitt. 10th kick. Well, it's a handball, so 9 kicks he's had and a few hand passes. Over the top of Glenelg. One of their better players when the game was tough. To McDermott. Back to Glenelg in the 1-2. Well, Grenville's running free of the play. I think Alan Stringer wanted it. Grenville's gone to the square, the right place to go. Carey's there. So are the Port people. Chigwidden's also there. Gee whiz, umpire had a close look at it. It's now a free kick, I believe. The way he runs in, you can always tell it's a free kick to a forward line player. The umpire runs in, all agitated, and starts pointing back and taking a line from the centre of the goal from where the free kick was played, which is the right way to do it. But you can always tell, as an observer, when it's a free kick forward of centre to the attacking team, because the umpire runs in. And when it's a free kick the other way, he just points. And the backline player has his kick out of the defensive area. So, Hodgman again. Gradually improving this game has Hodgman. I think he has missed. Yes, the umpire leaned back. Didn't go galloping, but he did lean back, and so therefore, just over the top of the post. 1 point only. Well, 10-8. Port 7-4.
Umpire Alton Smith. Most senior umpire out there. I think it's over 400 games. Alton's been around for a long time. A superb umpire. Phelps over the top, Stringer, Hewitt, Chigwidden close to the line, gets it well. McDermott in close, he's going now for Stabickler. Stabickler's got it. Got a late start, he slipped as he took off for the ball. Phillips couldn't get there first, and Stabickler winds up with the football 35-40 metres out from goal.
And you've got to admire Chigwidden. He knew the thump was coming after he kicked it, but he took it full on. He knew by steadying and taking his time that he would get the resultant tackle, but he was prepared to accept that, and that's what football's all about. It's taking risks.
Stabickler 40 metres out, wind assisted, ought to make the distance. 29 minutes gone. Nice looking kick. The umpire moves away to his right to indicate that it's 1 point only, and that takes on the Bays now to 10-9. Port Adelaide is 7-4, close to half time at Football Park.
Yes, Martin Leslie running around trying to get this kick in, but McTavish was covering him very closely. High kick. Christie Mark's unopposed. How easy. Handballs. Alan Stringer. Peter Maynard over the top. In comes Stephen Williams. Well done, Mark Hewitt. Been a good player today, Mark Hewitt. McDermott, quick kick, just high, looking for anybody they can find down there. Melican's there, so is Steve Bickler, but the ball comes to ground. Hodgman was there. Foster mops up, playing backline now. Strange spot for him. Chigwidden, round the corner. Out in the full one, I would think. Roger Delaney. Now let's hope Roger goes long and as far away from the goals as he can get and doesn't come across the oval.
I wouldn't want to think he'd crick across goal again, or he might wind up with the rest of the game sitting in the bunker with the coach. Roger Delaney screws it. That's a nice looking kick. Stringer over the top, got his hands to it, couldn't complete it. Harvey under pressure, and the umpire's going to give him a free kick for a high tackle. John Harvey whips out a wide run, puts Stephen Williams under the hammer. Thought about Foster. Siren goes. Half time here at Football Park, and a brilliant quarter by the Bays sees them lead 10-9, 69 to Port Adelaide 7-4, 46. Second half at Footy Park, the Bays with a brilliant 8-goal second quarter, lead 10-9 to 7-4. Carey, Hines up over the top towards the half-forward line. Gee, I think the Bays have made some moves. I've got an idea. Hodges has gone to centre half-forward. I'll get Graham to pick that up. Cruz sends the ball out. John Harvey on the outer side. Chigwidden back to run him down. Blistering pace. The crowd lift the roof. You think they love that young fellow as he drives towards the half-forward line. McDermott almost had an area. Down goes Phelps. The ball is locked up, and the umpire will come and ball up on the half-forward right flank. Lodges is definitely out from goal. I think Graham...
Definitely centre half-forward, and Dennis Russell has followed him out, which is the only way for Graham Corns to go, of course. Leave things sit. They're in command at the moment. Why not leave the players on the people who were standing in the first half? So he's fighting around the centre half-forward or half-forward flank even, perhaps Hodges.
Bounce down on the outer side, 10-9 to 7-4. Chigwidden again, what a game he's played. Ginniver's got to have to work hard. Stabickler there as well. But that was almost out of bounds on the... yes, it was. The umpire said out of bounds on the full. And I reckon that ball would have travelled less than half a metre on the full.
Yes, it's big fellow Phelps with the ball. Playing out of that customary back pocket slot. Big high left foot kick. From behind. Oh, good mark by Carey. Hasn't he lifted? He had a bit of an altercation with his coach on the bench, but it hasn't affected him. He's come back harder than ever. Looking for Melican, but Phillips led him to the ball. Delaney mops up. Play on, says the umpire. He paid a free kick, but played the advantage, and Delaney goes long. Looking for Darren Smith. Marnie at the back. Wayne Stringer knocks on. There's a flurry of players over there. No one really had the ball. And there's the crowd again. Gee, it's been a great crowd today, and they've slowly built up from the earlier game to this late game, which obviously was the draw card, and now it would be close to, what, 18,000?
I would think 18,000. Port Adelaide missing Abernethy. They're not picking up enough kicks around the packs, although Williams and Geneva are doing reasonably well. Now it's Foster towards the line and out of play. 10-9 to 7-4. Port Adelaide with a magnificent first quarter when they kicked 7-1 to 2-4 and led by 27 points. But the Bays turned that right round in that second quarter. Hines against Carey. McDermott comes out with a football. Maynard puts out one in hope. Marshall out he goes, working hard for it. Stabickler. Phillips right there with him. 3-on-1. He still can't get it clear. Well played, Stabickler. Had no support at all, and the umpire's going to come and bounce it on the half-forward line. The interchange bench for the Bays. That looks to be Donovan and is it Gary Christie?
Jeff Winton.
Jeff Winton.
Ian, I was going to say it's been a terrible stroke of bad luck for Port to lose both their captain and Bruce Abernethy on the one day. That doesn't put them really in a winning position. Long kick by Marshall out in the full, would you believe? Well, gee whiz, I've often spoken about Marshall's brilliant delivery of the ball, but today he's been a bit wayward, even though he did kick a remarkable goal, kicking up the golf course end in the second quarter.
The unusual thing is, Graham, that Gibbs can't get back in the side.
Ross Gibbs, yeah, well, that's right. Well, he's out on a form basis, I guess. The other two guys are out because of injury and or suspension.
Carey underneath the ball. Oh, that was a fine relieving kick for it. The umpire didn't pay it. Stringer under pressure, holding the ball. Gee, a little unlucky Super. Thought he took that mark clearly, not to be, and Hines has got the ball on the half-back line for Port Adelaide. The Magpies need a lift and need it quickly. They're down by 23 points. McTavish farms it out now to Cruz. Cruz in turn looking there for McDermott. Can't keep the ball in play, and the throw-in will take place at centre wing, just marginally in the attacking favour of the Bay.
Done well today has Max Cruz in the half-back line. In fact, it's hard to find a Port Bay player since quarter time. First quarter, not so much. Marshall prods the ball forward. Oh, gee. Phillips standing ground strongly there. Chigwidden again at ground level. Picks it up. Kicks towards goal. And Roger Delaney, magnificent. Cut it off at the pass, as they say. Right in the tooth of goal. What a performance that was. And a good clearing kick. Looking for Harrison. Loves to meet the ball on the move, does Harrison. Traps it. Turns around on his right foot kicking boot. Goes long. Cruz is there, but so is Hodges. Wasn't Cruz, it was Russell there with Hodges. And Hodges certainly has been shifted. It would appear he's either at centre half forward or half forward flank, because Darren Smith's fighting around the same area. Bounce up. Darren Smith, no. Russell goes unopposed virtually. Hodges on his left foot. Oh, it turns it around nicely. Jim West is there, out in the full. There's a free kick. Once again we find big Jim West clearing the ball.
Where they confused us earlier, Graham, that Darren Smith actually started in the big centre square at the bounce, and I thought he must have gone on the ball for a run. Didn't work out that way. Hines puts it back to the pocket. Out steams Tyler. Can't bring it down. The ball to the back. Wayne Stringer thought about McDermott. Oh, he's got to go across goal. Cruz is going to have to work hard. Oh, the bounce favours O'Brien. O'Brien through the pack. He needs support. John Harvey, he also needs it. Harvey whips it out wide. Hodges, 30 metres out, shoots for goal, and he's offline. A point. Well, Port Adelaide needed that one. And just about every time the ball has been kicked across goal, something goes wrong.
Did they ever need it, Ian? And Scott Hodges is the one bloke who's most reliable, but maybe not on a snapshot. From a direct shot, no worries. Alan Stringer, top mark, handballs across. Finds Salisbury. Salisbury kicks long. Chigwidden been held, one would think. Marks it anyhow. Oh, what a game he's playing, little man. Really is. He's got Foster on him now. The Boyd's been shifted off him. Maynard into the forward line looking for Mulligan. Delaney's there and marks. Good stuff, Roger Delaney. Let's see what he does with the ball. Goes to John Harvey. He had Geneva unopposed in the centre of the ground also. Harvey, plenty of options. Leslie's here by himself. Handballs across, finds Leslie. Leslie will go back in the 1-2. Harvey forced onto his left foot now. Doesn't worry him though. Finds Darren Smith with a receptive pass. Max Cruz closes in. Smith thinks about it. Short. Oh, brilliant. Finds Tyler. No worries. Jim West could do nothing about that. And Tyler now is probably a little out of his kicking distance, but you never know. There is a bruise behind him. Goes back. Runs a bit close to Jim West on the mark and consequently kicks the ball a bit high. Smith's there and marks. No play on, says the umpire. Well, I don't know. Darren Smith, I think, thought he had that wrapped up. Just escaped his grasp possibly for that extra second it takes for the umpire to be convinced.
Michael O'Brien is giving umpire Ross Campbell a serve, who seems to be quite unperturbed. Carey had one taken off him. Smith there too. Smith gets the tap down. Michael O'Brien called to play on, and umpire Campbell in to bounce the ball once more. Now Wayne Marnie's giving umpire Campbell a serve. Ross, it's not your afternoon, although I think you're doing well. 10-9 to 7-5 at the bounce. The bodies go in. Carey, oh, that's beautifully tapped. Beautifully done now to Maynard. Maynard now high to the half-forward line. Out comes to Bickler, too strong in front, Hines. The umpire hasn't paid that. Gee, you've got to hang on to him. No, he has paid it. And the ball will have to come back and be paid to Big Hines. Thought, gee, it's getting a bit rough trying to take a mark out there.
Yeah, it's not easy, Ian. It's a real pressure game too, because neither side can afford to lose this game, but somebody has to, of course. Long kicking by Hines. Carey's there, but can't get hold of it. Leslie taps on. He's down the forward line again. Grenville brought to the ground. Well, I think Michael O'Brien should just about Wayne Marnie also getting upset, but there's no percentage in that. All the umpire does is lock it away in his memory tank. Next time you should get a free kick, sometimes you don't. Darren Smith and Carey. Carey wins out. What a game he's played since quarter time. Over to McTavish. He loves this McTavish, running free of the play. You draw the player. Oh, well done. Very quick. Well, made it hard for Jim West. They mop up well with the Bays though. Good backup. Hewitt across to McTavish, across to Maynard. Now Maynard will think about it. It might go to Christie, I think. He kicked left to Christie. Christie's led to the ball. Can't mark it though. Good defence by Harrison. Hooks it up. Now the race is on. Ginnivan. Oh, bounces conveniently back to him. Ginnivan sizes up his options. Goes long. Looking for Tyler, but top work by Alan Stringer. Gutsy effort. Peter Carey's there. Loses possession. Harvey, was he held? No, says the umpire. Ball up. He is in trouble too. Gee whiz, I think he's done something to his ankle area.
Yeah, he's in big trouble there, although he's up on his feet, but only just. The lights are on at Footy Park, but all they can pick up at the moment that John Harvey's got a bad leg. He's in the hands of the trainer. Out wide is McDermott. He can run. Harvey's got about 5 or 6 trainers around him. Now McDermott will set it up for Russell. Russell gets to set the Bays into attack now. Puts it up. Out comes Christie up over the top, and Christie's got it. Brilliantly done, the Bays. From woe to go, it was all Glenelg. And Christie's got the mark 30 metres out in front.
He's run a conservative 50 metres, Chris McDermott, with the ball then, waiting for the lead to be set up, and did it beautifully. And Christie complimented the pass by taking the mark. A lot of height down there, Ian, in Melican, Christie, and to a lesser extent Steve Bickler. They've got marking power, the Bays. Christie
from 30 metres. Nice looking kick, and the umpire said that's home. Christie boots his first. The Bays go on their merry way, 11-9 to 7-5 on 10 Sports Action.
And the Bays draw first blood for this quarter. It's nearly 10 minutes in. They're the first side to score a goal in that space of time. They really are taking a clamp on the game now, and Port Adelaide are starting to lament their position, I think. Nonetheless, it's been a brilliant performance by the Bays to come back from the position they were in. It isn't easy when you're down 7 goals to about 2 at quarter time, but they've knocked off the lead very quickly and doing well.
At the bounce, Carey. Carey gets to tap away. McDermott can't. Wharton farms it out. Missed Stephen Williams. Phillips used his bulk well. Gets it out wide. Here's a chance. Chanel puts it on its way. Out steams Tyler. Tyler holds ground. O'Brien behind the pack. Port Adelaide won a goal. He shoots, and he's got this one. He missed 3, but he's got 1, and Port Adelaide fight back. O'Brien's first. 8-5. They've trailed the Bays. 11-9 on 10 Sports Action.
Bit of scrimmaging down there between Scott Salisbury and Wayne Marnie. Nothing much in it, I don't think. And that's Port Adelaide's first goal from about the 25-minute mark of the first quarter. It's been a long drought. Nonetheless, they've answered the challenge by kicking a goal. Michael O'Brien has at least. He's been a bit wayward in his shooting up to this point in time, and Port fight back. They're now 22 points in arrears.
Gee, they needed that. At the bounce. The game's starting to hot up now. Carey in opposition to Hines. Carey gets the benefit of the bounce, tries to tap it to Stringer. Intercepted McDermott. Now Maynard. McTavish will get it next. The Bays into attack through their left footer. High. Christie's up there. Over the top of Delaney. Melican can't quite. Gets the ball. Has to farm it out in a hurry. Here's a chance for the Bays through. Christie. Try to get it out. Port Adelaide concede the point. At least I think they did. But if Christie could have got it out to, I think it was Hewitt and/or Chigwidden, it would have been a lay-down Mazare goal.
You know, the problem is, I'm not labouring the point, but the Bays have a lot of height down there, and when it comes to ground level, unless the little blokes can get in, they're in trouble of being swept back almost as quickly as the ball comes in. On that occasion, they didn't get the resultant goal they hoped for. Long kick, looking for Marnie, but Stringer comes across and covers it off cleverly. covers off the league cover, I should say. And Wayne Stringer last week in his comeback game was nothing short of brilliant. This week, not as evident, but still doing a job of some containment in that area. And let's face it, since quarter time, the Bays haven't been in defence all that often. Well, it could be against Kerry. No, umpire doesn't see it that way. McDermott searching for it. Ground level. It's a free kick round the net. Chris McDermott. And Marnie's disputing the decision again. He's been in dispute most of this quarter, actually, and most umpiring decisions, and it doesn't pay. It simply doesn't pay, Wayne. Believe me. McDermott goes back. Launches off a bit of a missile. Plenty of height anyhow. Phillips, front position. Roger Kerr's on the ground. Feeding across to Kerr is Wharton. Long kick by Kerr. Now, somebody's got to turn back into a play here. O'Brien almost takes a clever mark. Russell at ground level. Grenville knocks it across to West. West left hand to Salisbury. Goes back to the defensive side of the ground and finds Chris McDermott, of all people. What's he doing down there? Well, I guess he was there chasing the ball. McDermott goes short and finds Marshall. It's easy stuff for the Bays at the moment, and they're doing it easy.
Gee, isn't Scotty Salisbury playing a magnificent game in defence? Very quiet but very effective. The body where it has to be. Carey in the action with him there is Harvey. Gee, that ankle still doesn't look right to me. Stringer comes out with the ball. That's Alan Stringer. Up towards half-forward line. Chigwidden again. Playing a magnificent game, looking for the lead. Off goes Melican. He's not giving him a chance. Got to stand his ground. The big fellow is scissored. Can't find the football. Delaney. Oh, he threw that one away. He's got it back again, but he didn't need it. And the umpire will come in and ball it up on the half-forward line.
Yeah, what a classic tackle by Peter Maynard. He just forced the ball out of Roger Maynard's hands.
Roger Delaney, I think you mean.
Sorry.
That's all right. I was trying to work that one out.
I was thinking Maynard.
Yeah, you did right. Over the top, Melican can't get the tap away. Going through Kerr. Hewitt puts it up. It's all Delaney out there. All he needs a bit of a set. Oh, he got a big great bounce. Stabicla hooks around the corner. And the umpire goes galloping to indicate 1 point only. Well, luck's a fortune in football, and that ball will never bounce where you want it to. 11-11, Glenelg 8-5, Port Adelaide.
Yes, Porter in the spot at the moment. They've got to score goals and quickly with this breeze. Short kick into Harvey. Obviously, he's come up all right since that. Anthony Williams, sorry. Anthony Williams takes the kick in, coming down from the centre. Williams goes short into the middle of the ground looking for Wharton. Oh, good mark. Great mark, in fact. Wharton wants to get it on. Now he comes around, give himself a natural long kick into the forward line. It's a high kick to Darren. Back doors there by Salisbury, covering up again. In the back perhaps, holding the man perhaps. Roger Kerr wins it, but it's all in no avail. The free kick's been played, Roger. He must bring the ball back and give it to Scott Salisbury. In fact, that's penalisable. 15 metres is on there. The umpire hasn't seen fit to do so, umpire Ross Campbell. There's no question Roger Kerr knew what the free kick was all about, yet he played on. And that way it's just, well, it's killing time.
Michael O'Brien once again giving umpire Campbell a serve. It's not his favourite man right now, but I can tell you, Michael, the decision was right. Salisbury puts it out and well put to Maynard. Maynard, oh, that's strength and courage. Plus 15 metres if you're not careful, young.
Why on earth does Wayne Marnie want the ball? Just to give it to him.
Maynard on the half-back line. 15th kick. He thought about McDermott. Now he's looking for some movement. There's not a lot. I'd agree with him there. He puts it up for Jim West. He can't bring it down. Wharton cleverly. John Harvey whips out a handball. Tyler's got out from his goal now. Stephen Williams under pressure. Scotty Salisbury runs him down again, puts it over, and Chanouth takes the miscued kick. Chanouth thought about Phillips, but he goes left footing, right in towards the half-forward line. Over the top they come. Hodges couldn't. Back in defence. Cruz goes down. Tunnel balls it out. Once again, Grenville. The Bay defence too strong. Stringer out wide. He can bolt. Chanouth can't run him down. Puts it on its waist. The Bickler out. Can't bring it down either. He's still got the footy. He'll need help from there. Gets it out quickly. Chigwidden. Chanouth can't. Chigwidden back now to Hewitt. Hewitt goes wide. Out there is the Bickler, and the Bays have got a chance. Jim McDermott's in the pocket. He's going to give him a charge. Out comes Delaney. Brilliantly done. And spoils a certain mark.
Doesn't do much wrong, Roger Delaney, in general play. He really does know when to move and when not to move.
There's a mental aberration every now and again, Graham.
Kicking-wise he does, but not actually in the way he plays the game and going for the ball. It's good stuff.
The decisions he takes, I mean.
Decision-making. Chigwidden gets it across again. Hodgman turns it around. Looking for Malik, and he can't get there. Phillips is in the vanguard. Searching the ball ground level as Phelps out the back to Delaney, the man we're talking about. And he goes long. Yes, well, he had no options, unfortunately. He's on his left foot, and that's the way to go. Dennis Russell. Now Dennis Russell is going to go short and find Schneebichler. All unopposed, standing by his lonesome. He had the choice of many people coming into goal. I heard Ian Day say at the side there that Chigwidden was also by himself, and that was probably either way would have paid off. Russell Johnson, the suspended Port captain, sitting in the bunker. And John Harvey, obviously injured from that fall we saw him take before. Entanglement in the legs, he got hurt. Schneebichler, that's a shocker. Still in play. Ground level. Harrison goes long. Punt kick. Hewitt opposed to Wharton. Knocked out of his hands. Across the boundary line for throw on left forward pocket for Glenelg.
Low scoring quarter, Graham. We've played 18 minutes. Only 2 goals have been kicked. 1 to each team. Hines against Christie. Christie, clever tap down Hodgman. Puts it up for grabs. Oh, great stuff. Leslie showed courage. Phelps took the mark. Kerr through. In there quickly now. Stringer gets it out. Hodgman from 40 metres out. Puts it on its way. Delaney getting back. Won't make it. Brilliantly done, Hodgman. He boots his second. The Bays 12-11. Port Adelaide 8-5 on 10 Sports Action.
That's Kim Hodgman's value. He picks up the loose ball. Hardly a loose ball. It's a hand pass out to him, but nevertheless he's on hand to take hold of it. And he sized up the situation cleverly. Gave the ball plenty of air. The wind did the rest, brought it back a little, and Roger Delaney had no chance of cutting that off. And that's Glenelg's 12th goal and Hodgie's second.
The moment of truth for Port Adelaide. Interchange for Glenelg. It looks like young Donovan's coming on. He hasn't had a run for the afternoon, the only one that hasn't. Over the top, Hodgman going for the ruck as well. Stringer Allen type. Out wide. Chanel should get the easy sit out there. He's well clear to send Port Adelaide into attack, needing goals. Russell across. He's swallowed at the back. Salisbury again. Brilliantly done. Oh, West. He missed it. Marnie in there. In goes Salisbury again with courage. And the umpire's going to give him a free kick. Well, I don't know that was there, but if you take those chances, I suppose you've got a chance of getting a kick. Scott Salisbury at the bottom of the pack to send the Bays out of defence.
Yes, he does. He goes where angels fear to tread, as the saying goes, Ian. And he deserves those resultant free kicks that come from people falling on top of him. Albeit that Scotty forces them to fall on top of him. It's a high kick from Salisbury. It's a great kick from Salisbury. Not the greatest kicker of the ball, I can tell you. At ground level, McDermott is it. Feeds it out. Finds Stringer. Allen tight. Allen goes short and finds Schneebichler. He's played a top game at centre forward today. He really has given Greg Phillips something to think about. 14 kicks to Sneezer. Goes long. Christie's there. So is Mulligan. Can't get his hands to it. Ground level. Hines is there, but so is McDermott. Do they fight for the ball in the Bays? Do they what? Handball across. Oh, picked up by Sneezer again. Just doing those loose kicks willy-nilly. Back of the pack. Christie of all people finds Hewitt. Well, what happens there? I thought he could have handballed across, but he didn't. He chose not to. It's out of bounds on the full, and nothing came of that promising attack on goal.
That is not good football, Graham. The handball was on. It was a walk-in goal. Chose to shoot by himself, and the Bays missed a certain goal. Leslie from Delaney. He can go out wide. Phelps is 30, maybe 40 metres on his lonesome. He can take the ball home if he wants to. It'll be 2 minutes before a Bay player gets there. Phelps kicks long, but he's kicked poorly. How could you do that? Kick straight to the opposition. He did it with consummate ease. Salisbury puts it back. Phelps out there, with him is Stringer, close to the line, keeps it in, Chanel, but the umpire said no, it has gone out. A throw in on the half-forward right flank, a good crowd, obviously not as big as last Sunday, in fact I think about half the size, but enjoying a good hard game of football.
Sure is, Ian. It's been a tight clash for the first quarter, at least the first half, but the Bays have put their trademark on the game this third quarter. Into the breeze, they really have virtually outscored Port, and Port have got the breeze. Jennifer over the top, finds Marnie. Foster, looking for Kerr and finds him. Good stuff, Roger Kerr. I would have thought it's a free kick if not a mark. He's paid the free kick, and rightly so. So Roger Kerr has the ball. He goes short, finds Jennifer. Well, it's coming back into play really, but nonetheless gives Jennifer probably a better side of the action upfield. He goes short again to Tyler. Well, it's short stuff, but I guess they're retaining possession of the ball. Bays are going berserk. Across comes Salisbury and cuts off the pass. It's Foster again going long. It's right in the square. Cruz is there, so is Darren Smith. Over the line from behind only. Port move on to 8-6. What's that, 54 points. Trailing Glenelg 12-11, 83.
Kerr limping. Harvey already off with an ankle injury. Wharton there, Glenelg, well done, Geneva, puts it back inboard. Here's a chance now, the big fellow Hines puts it on its way. The umpire again has to go running, and umpire Jeffrey Marsland says 1 point only. Port Adelaide need goals, not points. Forward work hasn't been all that classy today, and it's cost them dearly.
Mark Hewitt off the ground, Mark Donovan on for his first run of the afternoon. Long kick in by Dennis Russell.
Wonder if he's been dragged off because he didn't give that handball out, Graham.
Well, it could be, and you know, you've got to say that depends how the coach summed it up, but the handball was on, as you said, and well, maybe he is paying for that little misdemeanour in the eyes of the coach. Yes, indiscretion is a better word. Hodgman around the corner, Marnie's there, all boys lonesome. He goes short, looks for Foster. No, but chipping in nicely was Kerr. Had a few kicks since he's come on, Roger Kerr. Oh, he's crook. He's not well, Roger Kerr. It's his fourth kick, but he suffered a bad one around the ankle area. Jim West, big Jim West, marking in defence of the Bay. His handballs across almost arrogantly to Dennis Russell, who goes to Max Cruz, and Darren Smith comes into no avail. Not the best hand pass in the world, but it finds McTavish anyhow. Donovan meets Darren Smith coming in to tackle. Michael O'Brien and Wayne Stringer. Wayne Stringer cleverly knocks it on, but doesn't go to anybody. Oh my gosh, Greg Boyd's had one of those days today, I fear. Ground level. Now he's got it. Second chance for Greg Boyd. Chips. Oh yes, good effort. Good effort by Tyler. Jim West all over him like a rash, but could do nothing about it. He still marked the ball. Some 45 metres out, if not 50. And with the breeze behind him, maybe a chance of kicking the distance at least. Accuracy would be the problem. Thinks about it. Let's see how close the man to mark he goes. That is always a telltale sign. Yeah, probably a little close again. Had to go too high with the ball. Carries there, Sales Smith. Kerr's waiting for it, unfortunately for him. Geneva, held by the arm. He kicks it. And goals. What a top goal of Tim Geneva. What a Rovers goal that was. Great effort, Timmy Geneva. His second of the game. Port 9-7. Playing Glenelg 12-11.
Look at the attitude of the boy. That's what Port Adelaide need. A few more to get in and get the ball like he did. He worked very hard for that ball, and there were some strong Bay bodies around him in amongst all those arms and legs. He got the ball out on the left foot and snapped truly for Port Adelaide's 9th goal. And do you think they ever needed that? They still trail, however, 24 minutes in, 9-7 to 12-11.
That's 22 points. That's a 22-point deficit. And they need goals quickly again, obviously, while they got the breeze. Knockout. Oh, good stuff by the Port man, Hines. Oh, it's Mark. Alan Stringer to Chigwood, and geez, out of day to day. He's got Harrison on him. He's gone short to Maynard. How on earth can he be by himself? If he handballs over, they're in business. He kicks instead, giving Boyd a chance, but Mulligan holds his ground well and took the mark, and he's on his left foot, which will suit him better than if he was a right foot kick, obviously. He's coming in, he'll have a bit of an angle shot here, but as I said, with the left foot kicking boot, should present no problems whatsoever for Chris Mulligan. What has he got for the day? Nothing. Well, I can't believe that. Yes, one goal he's got in. He's kicked one. Yes, he ran an open goal, if you recall, and there it is. Chris Mulligan kicks the Bay's 13th and his second. Glenelg 13-11, 89, leading Port 9-7-61.
Once again, Chigwood is in the middle of all that good forward work by the Bays there. It was he took his strong mark under pressure, and he farmed it out to Maynard. And this time Maynard saw the opposition, and he made it into a bit of a hard one. He hung out Mulligan to dry a little bit. He had to stand his ground, but the big fellow's strong. He took it well and booted a goal, and they've got 13 on the board.
Yes, I recall Chris Mulligan's first goal in, right in the tooth of the goal it was at the golf course end, about 3 metres out. He finished up the big Delaney fell over, if you recall. Handball out the back by McDermott, great handball. Alan Stringer running free of the play, finds Hodgman. Oh, what a player this bloke can be when he cuts loose. He goes short. He's looking, he's going to make it hard for Mulligan, and it wasn't easy. But he butters up, can't quite, he keeps it in play. Much to his annoyance, I would think, because Port broke clear. No, they don't. Marnie's caught with the ball. Sales Wharton, out the back to Foster. Looking for Roger Delaney, free kick. Richard Foster in the back, against Mulligan, no argument there. And, well, how did Roger Delaney get it? It's Mulligan, it's Foster's kick for mine. And the umpire sees the error of the decision, not so much the decision, but Roger can't have the ball. Now he gets it. Long kick. That's the sort of kick I want to see from Roger Delaney. Knocked on by Chenoweth. After it again. Bit unlucky the lad then. Oh, Grenville, what a player he is too. Just quietly. Very efficient. Kicked by Christian, not meant for Maynard, but it's found him anyhow, and he dropped it. Would you believe that? Peter Maynard gets it on. Big kick by McDermott into the goal-scoring area. Carey's there. It dribbles away. 1 point only. Glenelg 13-12. That brings up their 90 points, leading Port 9-7-61.
27 minutes gone. The flags are almost still against the post now, so I don't think the breeze is going to play any big part in the rest of this game. So the boys are just going to have to battle it out from there. That's a magnificent kick in from Delaney. Big leaps in the Bickle a bit early. Grenvold at the back of the pack. Marshall, Chanau. Oh, tapped it straight to Grenvold. Couldn't believe his luck. Milliken wants it in. Grenvold can go all the way just about. Puts it up. Big Carey lumbers in to meet it. And oh, no one wanted it except Carey. Can't believe his luck. The Port Adelaide defence just stood there with their mouths open, and Big Super swallowed the football.
And you have to feel sorry for Tim Ginnivan. He was the only guy there in any position to contest the mark, and he sees Big Super coming towards it. What can he do? It's like the lumbering, well, an elephant coming towards you.
Mohammed came down to meet the mountain, a very small mountain, and Mohammed's going to shoot for goal, and Big Super has missed. Not happy with that one at all. 1 point only. He tends to think the umpire, he's still having a look at the umpire, but Alton Smith, as I said, been around a long time, and a point only. The Bay's 13-13, Port Adelaide 9-7.
Yeah, Big Super then, we won't get an easier mark than that. He was going for a full-blooded and just nobody got in the road. Long kick in by Delaney. Marshall comes from behind to try to spoil Hines. Good hand pass to Foster. Foster turns it back, finding Roger Kerr unopposed. Kerr has a bounce. 2 bounces if you don't mind. Over the top now, he's forced a handball now. No, he's had a kick. Into the square, looking for Tyler from behind his West. Knocks it conveniently over the boundary line. It's out of bounds in the right left-hand forward pocket for Port Adelaide, having your last chance for the breeze and trailing by some 30 points.
Young Mark Tyler just giving someone a serve too. The poor old umpires have had a belting this afternoon. He might have even been telling his teammates they're not giving him much chance to mark the ball. It's always coming in high. And no matter what he does, he's finding it very hard to mark the ball. Over the top came Scott Hodges. Stephen Williams close to the line, got to concede ground. Back now to O'Brien. O'Brien brings it round. Smith over the top, Cruz. West through, siren sounds. 3/4 time at Footy Park. No score that from that kick. The umpire said no. Siren has sounded at 3/4 time. Glenelg 13-13 to Port Adelaide 9-7.
We as football experts think we're promising, you know, the game. Britain's picking up money, but it's not. Otherwise, I'm winning 800 on the year, but I've been very lucky to winning 800. Yeah, like the footy went there, quickly count out the stuff. I was 893 in front of 843 in front of yeah. No, I just keep it separate. Yeah, I don't get the money. No, I just.
And as I understand it, we may not have heard the end of it all yet. 13-13 Glenelg, 9-7 Port Adelaide. At the centre bounce, umpire Ross Campbell gets the game started. The lights are on, and Port Adelaide need to lift desperately. Carey against Hines. Carey, line ball, Marnie in, Marnie out, gets out a handball. Geneva puts Port Adelaide into attack, up towards the half-forward line, over the top. Oh, was Salisbury. West in trouble, in goes Foster. Wayne Stringer there as well, but the umpire will come and ball it up 45 metres out in front of the Port Adelaide goal.
Actually, Ian, Scott Salisbury shouldn't have bought into that marking contest. He left Roger Kerr free of the pack for the falling ball, but nothing came of it. Led off for Scotty Salisbury. Picked up by Cruz. Cruz does a sort of a nothing kick towards the boundary, but David Marshall made something out of it. Good stuff, David Marshall. Typical Marshall kick, looking for Chigwidden. Gee, what a game he's played today. Ground level, Marnie does well. Dispossessed by Stringer. Stringer's held from behind. Play on, says the umpire, and he now calls for the ball. David Weston, that is, to bounce right in front of our commentary box. with Port Adelaide trailing by 30 points. They're in a spot of bother, obviously. Bayes have the scoring in. Good bounce. Hines. Ginniver loses it. Stringer comes in. Marshall. Oh, in the back has to be. You just can't tackle that way, I'm sorry. It's just not on. Alan Stringer should keep out of it though. He'll lose the ball for his team if he doesn't watch out. David Marshall, 17th kick coming up. What a game he's played. And what a goal he kicked in that second quarter at the golf course end. He split the centre from the impossible angle. High kick. Malikan's there from behind. Hines. Quick kick by Ginniver. Well done. Straight to Carey. Oh, he plays on. Finds Marshall on the characteristic left foot kick. He loves to bring into action. High kick. Big men fly. Punch from behind. Malikan tries to win possession. Caught with the ball is Hines. Play on, says the umpire. Ginniver again. Roving well. Picks up the falling ball and chips. Grenvald's there, but from behind is Marnie. But Grenvald, not Marnie, sorry, it was Foster behind. He should never have tried to mark that ball, Richard Foster. Had a fair day. Not saying he hasn't done well today, he's had his moments, but on that occasion he must punch. Grenvald goes high, looking for options. Seebickler's there. From behind is McDermott. Marnie wins it around the neck, no question. And a free kick to Marnie. He'll be happy with that. He's argued quite often today with the umpiring, but that was his free kick, and the umpire saw it his way.
Only his 5th for the afternoon. Hasn't been a big day for Wayne Marnie as he boots the ball back towards centre wing. Foster and Carey over the top. In there goes McTavish. Feeds it back now. Jim West boots the ball to the half-forward line. Out charges Christie, the big fellow up. Now chance with McDermott out wide. Donovan heads towards the open goal, and that is the kick of a backman. A terrible kick, 30 metres out. Boots it out on the full, Graham. Can you believe it?
Well, I can, because Mark Donovan plays all his football in the back line, back pocket, half-back flank. That's his area, and kicking towards goal. A rush of butt of the head would cause a miss like that. The hand pass over the top. Port come into attack. O'Brien wins the quick kick. O'Brien forced on his left foot. Good kick for O'Brien from there. Oh, from behind Russell. Carey, 1 against 3. A brilliant blind turn by Wayne Marnie. Finds Darren Smith, caught with the ball. Great tackle by Salisbury. That's his forte. Foster over the top to Ginniver. Ginniver again out to Williams. Stephen Williams played centre most of the day. Kicks backwards, finds Roger Kerr. And Kerr, since his emergence onto the ground, which was after half time, has had a fair share of kicks. 5 to be precise. And he got a bad knock during the third term, which we thought may inconvenience him, but he seems okay right now. Lines him up. In high goes Kerr, but it fades away. Big men fly, brought to the ground. Ginniver's there again, working hard as Ginniver. It's holding the man. The way he's coming in, it's a Port Adelaide free kick. Sure is. He'll line it up now with the goals. Tim Ginniver. Got to turn this ball around somewhat. Won't be an easy goal to score. The 17th kick certainly has been top little rover. Darren Smith. Oh, gee, that was slack. He's able to lead to Ginniver and take the somewhat easy mark in front of his opponent, Max Cruz. Max goes back. He always does this. He makes a mark on the oval and makes sure the umpire knows where it is, so he doesn't be seen as coming across the mark, and does his level best to put the bloke off. Doesn't put Darren Smith off though. Top goal to Darren Smith. That's his first goal for the game. Port Adelaide move on to 10-7-67. Trailing the Bays 13-13-91.
Well, the game's certainly not over yet. Port Adelaide have got no breeze to worry about. They kicked with it in the first quarter towards the southern end, but it's simply the flagpoles, or the flags are limp against the poles on most parts of the ground. So it's going to be even Steven all the way through. The Bays still lead by 24 points. Port Adelaide, it's the moment of truth.
There's the crowd again, holding up. No one's gone home. Why should they? The game's on for young and old still. Carey wins out, as he's done quite often today. But Dermott out the back door to McTavish. McTavish high. Searching for Malikan's leap. Forced forward was Malikan. Hodgman mops up. In comes Phillips. Oh, gee whiz. Hodgman again out to Donovan. Seems to me he's playing forward of the centre. It could be on the wing actually, Donovan. Now I think about it. Zach McTavish over the far side. Searching for the ball. Leslie's there. And it's out of bounds right in front of the scoreboard, which shows Port in arrears by some 24 points.
Tough footy out there. The lights are on. The crowd staying. Perfect condition. A very mild winter's night. Christie over the top. Phelps can't find it or can't get it out. Hodgman through, gives a chance now for Marnie. Slips it over to Stephen Williams. Port Adelaide starting to run again. High towards the half-forward line. Tyler out. West over the top. Michael O'Brien, the crumbs. Hooks it in towards full forward. Hodges is up there. Tries to stand his ground. Smith waits his opportunity. Farms it out. Kerr hooks it in the corner. Port Adelaide gold! Brilliantly done. Kerr boots his first. The Magpies fight back. 11-7, they trail the base. 13-13 on 10 Sports Action.
Very alert stuff by Roger Kerr. Received the hand pass and got a grubber kick, you might call it, towards goal, but nonetheless, it was a very clever kick. It bounced through. It gives Port a chance now of staying in the game. As Ian said, 11-7 plays 13-13, only 18 points behind, and that's 3 straight kicks.
It's not a lot in a game of football. 6 minutes gone, last quarter as it starts to hot up. Carey against Hines. It's Stringer Allen who sends him into attack. A bad bounce for Hodgman. Likewise, here's a chance. Chigwitten caught on the left leg. Hooks it back, coming back brilliantly. That's gold! Oh, brilliantly done. 14th kick. Chigwitten boots his third, and a magnificent game from the young fellow.
I got to agree, Ian. What a game the little man has played today. And that caps it off. A left foot goal. I never knew Chiggy had a left foot of that description, but he had no worries at all. He picked it up and just threw it onto the old left foot, and through the centre it went. That's match-winning football by Chig Whitten. He has played a marvellous game today. And Jeff Whitten comes onto the ground now, and John Steve Bickley has played a top game today at centre-half forward, vacates the arena.
Yes, I can't. Probably just adding a few fresh legs, or a couple of fresh legs at least. Carey gets the tap away, can't find a rover. Phillips got bowled by it. Carey in again, gets it out towards Whitten or McDermott. Whitten in the pack there too. Brilliantly done. Maynard slips it over now to Marshall. Marshall goes in long, getting back, and I think it's going to be just offline for a point. Oh gee, it looked like a magnificent goal for a while there. Just missed to the right-hand side. Umpire Marsden said 1 point only.
And Ian, I think Hodgman felt he was inconvenienced then, if you like, in an untoward manner by Greg Boyd, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Right in the teeth of goal. Whitten. In comes Chig Whitten mopping up. Top one. Salisbury. Michael O'Brien. Top kick. Jim West is there. Down to the ground. Richard Foster's at ground level. Oh, West mops up beautifully though. Desperate stuff by Jim West. Play on, says the umpire. Port got a chance now. Roger Kerr. He's become the man of the moment for Port, to be honest. Cruz gets it on. In goes Stringer. At ground level. It's nobody's ball. And the umpire calls for it.
In my opinion, Graham, Big Jim West, one of the most improved footballers in the state.
Yes, and he's a percentage player now, Ian. He doesn't go for those high flies from behind. He knocks the ball to the ground when caught in that position. Darren Smith has a high fly. Of a kick, that is. Oh, Hodges almost marks. McTavish. Oh, good stuff. Maynard again in defence. Over the top, the Wayne Stringer who knocks it on. Was he held? No, says the umpire. Handball out again by Port. A left foot kick towards goal was... Oh, boy! Who kicked it in? Was it Stephen Williams? Boy, oh, boy. I've watched him a couple of times today. He caught on his wrong foot. He threw caution in the wind and kicked a great goal. Port 12-7, 79. Trailing Glenelg 14-14, 98.
10 out of 10 for Port Adelaide. They've been down most of the afternoon since quarter time. They were up by 27 points then, but once the bays hit the front, they looked like they were going to steamroll Port Adelaide, but they're hanging in there, and the game is not over yet. 19 points the difference.
It's never over in Port Glenelg games. Both sides have a great tradition of fighting it out to the bitter end. Carey wins out. McDermott to Stringer. Stringer left foot. Well blocked, or brilliantly blocked, I should say, by Phillips. Play on. Ooh, Peter Maynard threw caution to the wind. He's been pinged, getting in danger. Yes, yes, it's a free kick. Wayne Marnie, his second free kick for the quarter, would you believe? He goes back now and thinks about his options. It's a spirited fight back by Port this quarter. Darren Smith's there, knocked to the ground by Max Cruz. No, it won't be around the neck. He put his head down, McDermott. At the back door to Salisbury. And a quick kick to handball to Jim West, who kicks it quickly into the... Oh, Whitten! He flew but couldn't quite bring it down. As Ian said, the fresh legs on the ground may help the Bays at this stage. Greg Phillips, now opposed to Whitten. High kick, left foot, from behind Dennis Russell. Made for him. Set it up beautifully. Hello, something's happened. It's a free kick. Michael O'Brien wins the free kick. Well, I've got to wonder about that one, but then again, it must be on. He's closer than I am, but I saw Russell take the clean mark. And he gave it up very quickly. which sometimes isn't the way to go because it gives people downfield a chance not to be organised. O'Brien comes in, a high floater. Must be hard into that breeze. O'Brien's a great kick of the ball, and that's barely made the distance. Ginnivan, it's over the line, 1 point only. Pull move on the 12-8-80. Exactly 3 goals behind Glenelg, 14-14-98.
The game's far from over yet. 14-14 to 12-8, as Graham just told you. 11 minutes into the final quarter, and Carey with the football. Off goes Stringer short. He doesn't want that player. Super's going to have to just... he's got Russell short, but he's going in short again. Who's he looking for this time? He nearly missed him. Wharton comes out with a football, puts it up for grabs. Glenelg with a chance up over the top. Carey! Strong mark, Super. Carey had the leap. I beg your pardon, Glenelg had the leap, but Carey had the strength, and what a timely mark it was. He's got Maynard right out here wide. Oh, gee, I think he's going to miss him. He's given it straight to Kerr. Maynard can't believe it. Kerr thought about Smith. He puts it on its way. It's going to be awfully close, right up in the square. Through they go. Over the top came West and forced it across the line for a point. Desperation stakes here in the last quarter of Football Park.
Yes, that was a golden opportunity for Port to get a goal back that they lost early in the day. Roger Delaney did the same thing, came across goal and kicked straight to the opposition. High kick. With Grenfell from behind. Mottling up. Michael O'Brien goes short. Can't quite find it. Well, he found Greg Boyd, who got it onto Marnie. Marnie will shoot for goal now, running in. It's a high kick by Marnie. I think it's there. It's a goal away, Marnie. That's his first for the game. Port drag closer. 13-9-87. Now only 11 points behind the Bays. 14-14-98.
Oh, the game has changed. The Bays have got problems. They're starting to push wind uphill. I've got the impression that Port Adelaide have got stronger legs at the moment. The Bays are struggling. 14-14 to 13-9. Port Adelaide got beaten by the last kick last week against Sturt. Can they get up and pinch this one after looking gone for all money? 13 minutes into the final quarter. They're only 11 points down.
It would surprise me, and if they've got fresher legs. They played last Sunday. The Bays had the advantage of playing on Saturday, so it's been a 6-day break against a 5-day break. Bounce. Carey. McDermott searching for it. Tries to win it back. Williams on top of the ball. Two very willing customers there, McDermott and Williams. Play on, says the umpire. Good decision. Alan Stringer has a quick kick. Kerr in the road. Williams still fighting for the ball. Pumped up by Stephen Williams. He really is giving his all for his club. You can't ask for more than that. The lights are on the football park and the crowd is staying transfixed to this game. It's a great match. Bounce again. Hines and Carey. Hines wins out. McDermott's left foot kick into the scoring area. Delaney comes forward. Clean bowl, Delaney. In goes Melican. Oh, well done. Here comes Chigwin, the man of the moment. Handballs to Winton. Can't quite get hold of it. Straight to Marshall. No. Play on. In comes Maynard. Kerr. Oh, Glenelg bumps up. A nothing kick though. Looking for Smith. Didn't give him much hope. Wayne Stringer veers in, but from out of the attacking area. Oh, picked it up beautifully, did Tyler. Found Foster. Foster's turning around, looking for options. A high kick. That's supposed to go. Hodges is there. Down to the ground, Ginnivan. Top little game by Ginnivan. Top big game by Ginnivan. Tyler runs in an open goal and kicks it. Oh, what a goal to Mark Tyler. His first for the game. They're jumping out of the ground, Port Adelaide this quarter, to find something they couldn't find for 2 quarters of footing. But all of a sudden now, they are doing something. Port, 14-9-93, just 5 points behind the Bays. 14-14-98.
Port Adelaide have booted 5 goals in this quarter to the Bays 1, and you think they're coming home with a wet feather. I said the Bays have got problems. They're starting to compound. There's only 5 points the difference. We're halfway through the quarter, and Port Adelaide definitely finishing on top. The Bays are going to have to steady and do it right now.
And playing a loose-banded defence, it would appear. Greg Boyd's got nobody on him. Hosman's coming back now, so that might change that little situation. Bounce up, Hines. Dispossessed. Williams round the corner. Darren Smith takes the mark. Play on, says the umpire. Did he? No, he didn't. It's got to be 15 metres in that case, because he plays on it anyhow. Banks not using the 15. He had to, simply had to. Over the top to Wharton. Wharton now turns it around. The ball, I mean. Looking for Ginnivan and finds him. Gutsy mark, Ginnivan. What a great mark. That takes rare courage, that backing into the pack. He got no idea he's coming, yet he took the options to get him cleaned up, or taken out of the game, as they say, and took the mark, and the inevitable crunch never came. So Tim Ginnivan has been a little fortunate. Nobody came after him, but nonetheless, he takes a skip. 18th kick by Ginnivan. High kick. He's kicked the goal! And Port hit the front, you can't believe it. 15-9-99, Port, 1 point in front of Glenelg. 14-14-98, and Ginnivan's third goal. And what a test of character for both sides now.
I said 10 out of 10 for Port Adelaide before. Now I'll give them 12 out of 10. They look beaten for mine, but only a Port Adelaide team can fight back like this. They've scratched, they've clawed, they've beaten the odds, and they're back in front, but it's only a point. The game's certainly not over yet. 16 minutes gone, final quarter.
Well, Hodgman on the ball. That's the one change made then. I think he put himself on the ball. Carey lumbering down to the forward pocket. Christie doesn't quite get his fist to the ball, but he probably run out in the contest. In they go, Stephen Williams, playing like a man possessed. Kerr searching for it. Wharton's there. Hello against Kerr, holding the ball down, umpire said. Tough decision. McTavish round the corner. In they come. Oh, good contest by Winton. Nonetheless, Delaney set up to run the ball out of defence. Darren Smith takes the mark. Closely watched. His opponent Max Cruz. High kick by Smith. Glenelg. Oh no, it's got to be 15. Just can't do that, Michael O'Brien. And Glenelg will get the result in 15, if not 20. Always hard to assess. He doesn't take advantage of it, though, which is a mistake in my opinion. Marshall's there. Down it comes, ground level, right in front of the commentary box, with Port Adelaide hanging on to a tenuous 1 point lead.
Well, an unbelievable game, a topsy-turvy. The Bays, 8 goals in the second quarter to get them from a 27-point deficit to a 14-point advantage. And now it's Port Adelaide who's come back, slips it back to Greg Boyd. Screws a tumble punt kick up towards the half-forward line. Smith can't. Well played, McTavish got the kick away. Maynard in the van. At the back is Chig Winton through. He bolts off, gets out the long one. Winton against Phillips. He hasn't got the ball. Free kick against Phillips. Didn't have the footy, and Jeffrey Winton's going to line up about 15 to 30 metres out wide in front. Umpire Campbell just explaining to Greg Phillips what happened. He doesn't agree, obviously, but I think you'll find, Greg, that the grab was there.
He had no options there, and Jeff Winton had him cold if he let him just go after the ball. So he tackled, but of course the man never had the pill. And that happens, you've got to pay the penalty.
Chick Winton's dash through the pack, brilliant. Now, can Winton put the Bays back in front? At least he'll tie up the ball game. His kick is high, it's offline, and it's even Steven at Footy Park. Nothing the difference. 14-15 to Port Adelaide's 15-9, and John Carr looking far from relaxing. Who can blame him?
Well, he suffered a 1 point defeat last week in the dying moments of the game. Is it on again? Delaney goes high. Donovan's there, but so is his Port opponent Wharton. Yes, Donovan's definitely playing on a wing. Ground level, they're fighting hard for it. Well, bounces out by Ginnivan, handballs across. Great work by Ginnivan. Finds Greg Boyd. He'll bounce 2 or 3 times in my opinion. No, he's only got one. One long. Probably the best option to take. Have faith in people downfield. Cruz. Great hand pass. Brilliant hand pass. Is that Hewitt? Over the top again. Finding Stringer. Stringer looking for options again. Oh, Hodgman. Always a dangerous player. Stringer that got the Alan Stringer before. Oh, Chigwin almost. Out in the full, unfortunately. Bad luck for Port Adelaide. He just kicked the ball general direction of the attacking area, but it's gone out of bounds in the full, and Jeff Winton will mop up from that area. Almost impossible from there, as we say many times. To Marshall, who loves trying to prove me wrong from this side of the ground, Ian.
Yeah, it's not an easy kick, but if anybody can kick them from here, David Marshall can. I just think he may be just a smidgen far out with this. The ball's starting to get just a little slippery.
He's a great kick of the ball. He's gone short, trying to find Chigwin. That's not a very, clever option, because he's such a small little bloke. Good and all as he's played today. He will find it hard to take an overhead mark against the guys that he's standing.
The ball game's all even. Throw in right forward pocket. The Bays in attack. In there quickly, McDermott got it out to Winton. Winton hooks round the corner. This could be a goal. No, the umpire said play on. The Bay fans are screaming. Umpire Marsland unmoved as the ball goes out to Wharton on the outer side. Brilliantly done, Delaney. Port Adelaide a chance to go into attack down the outer side. 1-on-1 at centre wing. Stringer against Foster. Now the other Stringer into the action. Brothers too. And the ball is out of play. Gee, that would have been a magnificent goal. And what a magnificent attendance. 21,382 and a perfect setting at Football Park.
By gee, and that was, looked like a certain goal, but Roger Delaney did it beautifully. I don't know how he does it. Darren Smith. It's a free kick to the Bays. And top of the umpire standing there. Chris McDermott, the evergreen. Well, he's hardly an old man. He's been playing a long time. Chris goes high, looking for options in his own forward line. Chigwin from behind. Gee, what a game this man's played. Such a dangerous little fellow. And the white hair just keeps bobbing up. Talk about Eddie Hoffman being a cult hero up at Central District. This bloke's taking the same mantle at Glenelg. And today he's been one of the reasons Glenelg have been in front most of the day. But at the moment, it's tied up. Mulligan, ground level. Maynard's there. Marshall, gee, he does that left foot so well. Chigwitten's there. So is Carey. Carey's got possession, I think, on his left foot. Doesn't like his left foot, I can tell you that. Straightens up. Misses. But at least it gives the Bays the lead. That's breathing space for Graham Collins and his men. They've got that there end also, so the ball doesn't go back to the centre. And the Bays now lead by 1 point, 14-16. Not good kicking for goal. To Port, 15-9.
Oh, Super did everything right. It was a super dummy. Got round, steadied, and then missed. Screw in by Delaney right up towards centre. Stringer over the top. Here's a chance for Hodgman to cut it off. He got a bad bounce. Chigwitten through, slips out a handball. Big Milliken lumbers after it. He's got problems. Gives it back now. McDermott on the left leg. Fires one around the corner and he's offline again. And now the Bays lead by 2 points. Desperation. 14-17 to 15-9. 22 minutes gone.
And Bays in attack again. That's one concession they get for not kicking a goal. Doesn't go to the centre of the ground for Port to go to attack again. Punch from behind. Well, the same two blokes that went for the mark got to get after it again. I refer to Christie and Hines. Here's Chigwitten. Oh, sat upon. Gee whiz, lucky not to get a free kick played against him. Harrison then. Play on, says the umpire. There it is at ground level now. Right in front of that commentary box. It stacks on the mill. But Chigwitten, a little unfortunately, not to have received the free kick then.
Oh, they've tired players out there, Graham. They all realise the importance of this game, the importance of a double chance or even making the 5 at all. Marshall around the corner, 2-on-1. Winters gets shepherded by Phillips, well played. Boyd's got a chance to send it off out the outer side. Gee, this better come off. Quickly through Donovan. Donovan against Phillips out there. He's got the pace, but got nowhere to go. Completely snookered and takes the ball across the line for a throw-in, still inside the half-forward line. John Cale ageing before our eyes, and what coach wouldn't?
23 minutes gone. Probably 7 minutes of play left, given the fact that Port have kicked the swag of goals this quarter. Tapped on. Donovan's there, but Wharton off the ground. Will it go out of bounds again? Yes, it does. Stephen Williams picks up and gives it to the umpire. Port now, they've got to get that ball back into their attacking area, obviously. They have any chance whatsoever. They're 2 points down. From behind was the big fellow Phelps, but ground level Carey, good stuff. Oh, it was great stuff. Fine Stringer on his left foot. Hooks it around. Harrison's there though. Takes a chest mark, unopposed. Goes short. Finds Phillips. Good option. Phillips now. Left-hand hand pass. Going for Delaney. What will he do? Chips it over the top. It's Chenoweth by himself. Can he run? No, he can't run any distance. Oh, goes back to the centre of the ground to Kerr. Finds that player. Very clever since he's come on, Roger Kerr. Runs around the man on the mark. Foster. Forced on his left foot. High kick into the forward line. John Fiona down there. It's a mark. It's a mark of Hodges. Gee whiz, I'm having deja vu here, Ian. Hodges kicked the winning goal at Albert early in the year against Glenelg. And the same thing may occur again. He never misses Hodges, Scott Hodges. I can tell you that. It's a rare moment when he misses a goal. And he's marked this 15 metres out directly in front. By gee, he's only kicked 1 goal for the entire game. So, what are we going to see here transpire? He kicks the ball and the goal. There's the goal. Hodges' arms are in the air. Port Adelaide 16-9-105. Leading Glenelg 14-17-101. There's plenty of time left though. Some 6 or 7 minutes to go. And there's Scott Hodges, the man of the moment just right now with 2 goals to his credit.
Port Adelaide has kicked 7 goals in this final quarter, Graham, to the Bays 1. That gives you an idea of their supremacy. The Bays had the ball in their forward division for about 2 or 3 minutes. All they could do was get a couple of points. Port Adelaide, that one attack, kicked the goal and they lead by 4 points. What a game of football as we hit time on in the final quarter.
And Greg Boyd by himself again in the Bays attacking area. I can't believe this, although now Hodgman is covering him. Christie trying to find McDermott. It's a fight for the ball by Williams and McDermott. 2 of the most determined players on the ground. McDermott comes out the winner. A free kick. What for, I don't know. Maybe holding his arm or something. McDermott goes high. From behind is Winton, but I know easily beaten by Phillips then. I think you'll find Phillips go to the non-scoring side of the ground, which will be the outer side. He's an intelligent player. Goes to handball, but aborts that. Goes short. Oh, gee, it was a bit risky. It finds Hines, the big fellow. David Hines. He goes to what I call the dead side of the ground. Rightly so, the only place to go. Greg Boyd's over there by himself. He's taking his time too. They're just trying to kill time now, I believe, Port. Might be better to attack from behind his Cruz. Darren Smith was there also. The ground level stringer, Wayne that is. Grenville, caught with the ball virtually. Yes! The umpire sees it that way. Roger Kerr, what a player he's been since he's come on. He's ignited this side to a certain extent. He's just done the good thing, the right thing at the right time. Roger Kerr, 9 kicks in this last half of play. And certainly has been a bonus for John Cale. Bringing him onto the ground. He goes to that defensive side of the ground as I call it. Leslie, chips. Looking for Hodges. Salisbury beats into the ball. Grenville's out there unopposed, but it's out of bounds. Time is ticking by in, Dave. 26 minutes gone, and the Bays are down by 4 points.
I think there's about 2 or 3 minutes left, Graham, and the Bays have got problems. Port Adelaide a brilliant last quarter. Christie, Hodges, Maynard wants the ball back. Goes in there towards Salisbury. Grenville there as well. They can't run it out, or can they? McTavish. The ball on the half-forward line of Port Adelaide. 27 minutes gone now. And the Bays need a goal, and they need it desperately.
Ian Hines kick away from the play. Port are closing up the game.
So would I, Graham. Aerial ping-pong at the moment. In towards the pocket they go. The bottom is Hodges. Close to the line. And the ball out of play once more. Seconds ticking away, and so too are the Bays' chances.
Yes, there's been 7 goals scored this quarter, so even 8 goals. Well, I had that up. It's hard to add up. But certainly time is now ticking away, and the Bays are struggling over on that far side of the ground. McTavish has it now. Received the hand pass out of the pack. Oh, there's Hines. I mentioned him a few moments ago. Standing there by himself, but play on, says the umpire, and it's ground level now. This is where the game becomes tight. There can be a decisive break by the Bays now. They can open up the play and give themselves a chance to kick that goal that will make the difference. It's 16-9, 105 to 14-17, 101. I guess Bays will claim bad kicking has cost them dearly. Who would argue it? Christie's there. Knocked to the ground by Hines. Picked up by Williams. What a game he's played. Stephen Williams round the corner. Trying to find Hodges. It'll go over the line. That's what Port want. They're hugging the boundary line over that far side. The tactics are pretty right as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, you can't take it away from them. The Port Adelaide supporters starting to look happy. 28 minutes gone. They lead by 4 points. When you consider they were 4 goals, 6-5 down at three-quarter time. That's 30 points. McDermott, the tackle's a little high, but it could have been holding the ball just the same. And McDermott's going to get the free kick. 28.5 minutes gone. He goes over to McTavish. McTavish in now to Grenville. They're under pressure. Port Adelaide put the pressure on. Christie lost the footy. The umpire said play on. Through went Grenville. He hasn't got the football on a gay. Port Adelaide tie the ball up as the seconds tick away, and there's a Magpie player flattened in the pocket.
Playing like men possessed, the Port Adelaide players are just running on their knees to get that ball. Smith's there, takes possession, good thinking. The ground level now, McDermott out, always a worry. Salisbury, top kick by Scott Salisbury into his forward area. This is the Bays' last chance. Can they mount an attack? Out the back to Chigwidden. What a game he's played, the little man. He's caught with it this time, I think. Yes, he is. The umpire says holding the ball. What a decision, Ian. That could cost them the game. If Chigwidden had got that round the neck, maybe, they would have been in attack again.
Yeah, well, he had no support at all, Graham. He went this way, then that away. And Port Adelaide, cool in a crisis, are going to run the ball out. Leslie puts it over now to Delaney. He butters up again, goes back inside to the half-forward line. That's beautifully put. Tyler couldn't whack it, and that is deliberate, but the umpire didn't see it.
Would have been a brave decision in front of all those Port supporters, but there's no question. Tyler did not try and keep the ball in play.
16-9 to 14-7, almost 30 minutes gone. The Bays have got massive problems. McDermott still trying to lift them. The ball won't back up for him. Stringer gets it out. Here's a chance for them to go in through McTavish. They might have one attack left. Kicks in long, up towards the full forward. Carey at the back of the pack. He needs support. Dummies the tackle, throws out a handball. Back to Hodgman. Hodgman up towards goal, and off the fingers it goes through for a point. And that could be the game. That could be the ball game. And Port Adelaide cannot believe as Russell Johnson gives the Wrigleys a huge send-off.
A spine-chilling football. I've been privileged to be here 2 weeks in a row now where I've seen 2 magnificent encounters. Last week, Port went down by 1 point. Can they make up for it this week by winning by, 1 kick? They're 3 points ahead. Must be about 30 seconds to go, I would think. Roger Delaney. No good wasting time, Roger. Doesn't go till you kick the ball. Oh, what a missile he's kicked. It's gone deep. There it is! It's all over! 16-9, 105 have beaten the Bays.